I felt like, dude, this tank top I'm like fucking busting out of right
You
now.
look jacked. Super
I
jacked.
know. I was like, I had a baggy shirt on. Oh, we're live now. Okay. Yeah, I had a baggy shirt on, and I'm like, I'm gonna go throw on a tank top and
Take
bust
the
out of
shirt
it.
off.
This thing is
Yeah.
small as fuck, dude.
What
Really
size
is.
is it?
It's this is like a medium, but like it's like a China medium, so it's like a real
Oh, okay.
American
Yeah.
small. Hmm.
I've noticed like clothes are smaller and smaller than they used to be. Like
Yeah.
when I was a kid, like an adult, like men's large was like
Uh-huh.
fucking super big. Now like a 4X is
Do you think it
kind of,
was because you were a kid and you were smaller though?
I guess it could be, but I feel like in general, like I'll get like a 4X that's like, down to my knees, and then I'll get a 4X that's like, super tight. So I don't know, like it's
I
wild.
think it's also just the way like things are cut. I don't know
Yeah.
because I think it like if you buy like a Gildan shirt or something like that, like um, it's probably gonna be like what a 4X is supposed to be like. But if you buy like a Bella canvas or like um, I don't know. Oh yeah, speaking about shirts, yeah, we started talking about shirts because Jimmy's got on a pro wrestler shirt. What does it say? LA?
LA Knight.
LA Knight? Is he in the WWE?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jimmy had a cool shirt on last week, and now I'm wearing like this. So,
Super cool tank
um,
top.
yeah. But what was I gonna say about shirts? Dude, I totally lost my train of
You
thought
know
there.
that company Real Muscle, REEL?
Yeah, now that you say that,
They've got
go
some
ahead.
like the 4X from them is
Hmm.
like fit perfect.
Yeah,
Like it's super long and kind of like baggy, but it's still kind of like tight in the chest and
uh-huh.
shoulders. It's like the
Yeah,
perfect fit for a shirt.
yeah. They cut shirts differently now. Like it's not just like a box cut. Like some of them are like kind of tapered and stuff like that. Um, I almost bought this today. It was like $27, and I still might buy it. You know the guy Sisterino like video where he's like on the hack squat and
Yeah,
he's
do it
like,
to the side.
guys, yeah, not in front of me. Do
Yeah.
that shit to the side. He has shirts that say "Do it to the side," no,
Oh,
or
that's
not in front
funny.
of me or whatever. I wanted to buy it. I might still have to buy it. It's just like,
That was a hilarious video.
yeah, and
I
like the way,
completely sympathize with him too.
yeah, I like the thing is you don't see everything that's going on in the video, but if they were like right in front of the hack squat, like, dude,
Yeah.
I am fucking dying on the hack squat. Like, I get aggressive on the hack squat.
Yeah, I get like aggressive like anytime I'm doing anything. Like if you're on like a hammer strength piece and someone
Hmm.
goes to like take a plate off like one of the bars like below your weight, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like it
Yeah.
completely takes me
Well,
out of
like
the show.
that's like one thing. If you were like, I don't know, at a public gym and it's super busy and you say you had like a shit ton of weight on the bar, people are like moving in between the bench and stuff and it knocked that could be like that could be an injury right there. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I didn't tell you. I strained my pec actually a little bit.
Fuck, how?
Chasing that logbook, bro. Kind of. Um, what's funny is, dude, we've been doing these for 6 weeks now, and it's like I could look back and see the progression of the podcast and everything. I buy 2XL or sometimes 3XL just to make it X after washing. Yes, I mean shirts are going to shrink
That's a
too
good point
depending on the
too. Yeah.
material. Yeah. But no, like I just didn't warm up. So like yeah, I strained my pec a little bit, but no bruising or anything. So it's my left pec. But no bruising. It never bruised at all.
What
Here's what
exercise
happened.
were you on?
I was doing incline Smith
Okay.
with a reverse band on it. And like I was kind of excited because I'm like, like I, I haven't done them in a while. I've done this weight before. But what I did is, dude, I barely warmed up. Like I put one plate on. I did like 8 reps, maybe 5, 6, 8 reps. I put two plate. I went right into up to 2 plates, and
Okay.
then I did like 5 or 6 reps. But I'm like, let me not sit, burn out on my strength. Let's just throw the 25 right on.
Yeah.
And then I had a set of 8 to do. That was going to be my top set, and then I would have backed down to like 2 plates or 2 plates and a 10 or something like that. But anyways, like I get to like the 7th or 8th rep, maybe the 6th rep. I don't know what rep it was. It's one of the last couple.
It's
And
interesting
like,
it wasn't one of the early ones. You know?
Yeah, I was good to go, but I think I don't know. But I have a video of it too. I posted it on my Instagram story, and like I mean, I had control of the weight and everything, but like it didn't look as good as what two plates probably could have looked like controlled.
Hmm.
Um, so I did get a little aggressive, and I was like in my head, I literally said this in my head, but either before like I did that rep or like I don't know if this was before or after the rep that I felt strong and good, but I
Hmm.
was like, well, I don't know. I guess I probably do have a pretty good gauge on where I'm approaching failure at. So I think I said in my head, like, you're good, bro. Like, you're strong as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
like the rebound's going great. Like, the
You got another
weight's
rep
up.
in you.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, thank you for Sicilian cannoli and espresso.
That's my
Thanks.
buddy Sean.
Hey, what's up, dog? Cheers. So yeah, and then it made this like bendy straw sound. So like when you have a bendy straw and you like pull the bendy straw, it goes zzz, like that little. So it
Yeah.
sounded like that, and that's like how much it felt like I had stretched it. And then I even held a 10-second contraction at the top because I did the 10-second contraction, 8 reps, and then a 10-second contraction, and I was just like, all right, rack it, and then I was like, okay, that's not like
Oh,
exactly how I got on here. So yeah, I've been laying off chest this past week, but
injuries are such like demoralizing. And that one
yeah,
type of injury where you're trying to convince yourself it's okay. Like
I
you're
was
like,
ready to
that
keep
felt weird,
going,
but
dude.
like you're kind of flexing it and you're like, it might feel okay. And in the back of your mind, it's just kind of no, it's
The
fucked
thing
at that
is,
point.
I wanted to keep training, but no, I didn't need to go to urgent care. I didn't need to
Did
go
you
to urgent.
switch and just do like triceps or anything after, or did you just cut the workout short?
Well, I there's this dude Mike. He does a lot of like powerlifting stuff, and like powerlifters have like ran into injuries because you're chasing
Yeah.
like a weight. So I just asked him. He was training one of his clients, and I was like, "Hey, have you ever had a pec strain?" And he's like, what's it sound like? What's it feel like?" He's like, "Did it sound like a bendy straw? Like like undoing a bendy straw?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, it was just like that." He was like, "Yeah, call it quits today, dude. Like, what's the rush for like trying to, you know, get a one chest day, and that could end in 3-4 months of being out,
Yeah.
versus
That's a
taking
really good
maybe 3 or
perspective.
4 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks." And I'm like, well, fuck. In my head, I'm like, well, the next set's a lighter set. Like I could technically probably do it. It doesn't really feel too bad. And I'm like, I have like full mobility. I'm like moving my arm and stuff. I'm like, and I'm going back and forth in my head, like to whether I want to keep going. But honestly, bro, I think it's a good thing I didn't keep going, and it was a
Yeah,
good reality
100%.
check because it's like, uh, not that like you shouldn't have your foot on the gas, but like I have 45 weeks. Like I don't need to rush. Like I mean, the first thing I rushed was I didn't warm up. Like
Yeah.
I just got trigger happy and I was excited. And I had a client coming up at 3 and it was like 1 or 1:30. So I really wanted to I had all the time I needed to be able to get that whole workout in, but I
Yeah.
rushed through it. So um yeah.
I'm glad
Uh
it's okay though. That's awesome.
yeah, I did wind up doing a little bit of back though after, and then after a certain point, like I got a second opinion, and he was like, "Yeah, probably don't even do back too. Like
Oh,
just."
shit. Yeah.
And then I messaged my coach, and he was like, "Yeah, lay off 3 days completely,
Yeah.
and lay off 3 days completely, and that's demoralizing, bro. Because like I love my routine, you
Oh,
know."
yeah.
Hmm.
And even just from like
So
a mental, I always try to think of things like if I'm advising somebody, like what
hmm
would I tell them? And it's usually something different than I actually end up doing
doing
because
yourself.
because you're so like excited to train and you want to
Hmm.
push forward, but like in the back of your mind, it's just kind of, it's not the best thing to do.
Yeah, he actually explained. No, Mike, he explained it in a pretty good way too. Um, he said sometimes injuries will happen based off like your mineral balance. Like you need calcium to contract a muscle, or you need a certain mineral to be able to. And like he asked me, like, okay, what part did it happen on, the contraction or the eccentric? Like,
Mhm.
and it was coming down. It was just like I just stretched out the pec a little bit too much.
Yeah.
That's all it really felt like. It didn't feel like, oh shit. Like it didn't feel like it was burning, and like I like racked it and it's like still burning and it's about to fall off.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I guess there's like your mineral balance is really important. And just coming off a show, like, I mean, I guess it's been 6 weeks now since my show, but I mean, my body still wants to gain weight. Like my appetite is still crazy. Like, I dieted for 18 weeks. Like we're only 6 weeks into the actual like post show period. So
You're
I
still in
think
the rebound phase. Like you're not
Mhm.
out of that like
It's not. I'm not stabilized. I'm not at like
yeah.
homeostasis yet. Yeah. So, um, you know,
What day was that you strained it?
that was on Monday, and it's been hot as hell here in Florida, as you know. So like I've been sweating more. Just hydration is just like you got to stay up on it and getting the electrolytes in.
Yeah. Hydration is
Also,
like I can tell a big difference if I used to, like a couple years ago, I used to love training like after my first meal. Like I would love to train after my first meal. But now, just from like a hydration perspective, I just don't feel good. Like unless
Mhm.
I've got like 2-3 liters of water in me. And it's just that's
Yeah.
not realistic after your first meal. So I think
Well,
hydration is
yeah.
super important.
I mean, another thing is too, like I like was like my coach in my plan has like one crank of salt on each meal, like, you
Hmm.
know, but I think I need more salt, bro. It's hot out here. Like I'm sweating, like,
Do
so
you take any additional salt with like your pre-workout drink?
yeah, I'm supposed to put 2 cranks in, and then I take an electrolyte powder actually in it.
Okay.
Like I should be covered in electrolytes, but like I don't have to show up and look a certain way right now. So it's like I should load as far as I know, I should be loading up the minerals a little bit more.
Yeah,
I think they
especially if your
really
water
help,
intake's
dude.
high.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you tend to drink a lot of water throughout the day?
well, I mean, I'm in the gym, so it's not like I'm like pounding water, but like
Okay.
I will, like, if I start sweating quite a bit, I'll pound some water, and I'll get thirsty, and if I feel like if you're getting thirsty, like that's a pretty good sign that you're starting to get dehydrated,
Yeah,
you know.
supposedly like once you're actually thirsty, you're already dehydrated. I think
Yeah,
that's what
if
they said.
that's your body telling you, like, yeah, like really fill up. Um, yeah, guys, so I'm eating my chicken and rice right now. Chicken, rice, and a frozen banana. One of my favorite meals, dude. So me and Jimmy were actually talking earlier. It took us a little bit to get on because we were talking about just fats and meals and stuff like that, and digestion. So we are kind of jumping around. I put injuries as the last topic on here. Um, um, I don't want to forget about the food topic though. Uh,
You want to start with injuries, then go into food?
yeah. So let's just finish out injuries. So I mean, what my like plan is over the next 3 to 4 weeks, really now next 2 to 3 weeks is I got some BPC 157 and some TB 500. I'm gonna take the BPC daily, and then it's in my pack. So like I'll grab a pinch of fat on the pack, and just do it sub Q there. Um, I was trying to do my GH intramuscularly,
Mm-hmm.
but I like pinned my pack and it like spasmed. I was
Oh
like, oh
no,
fuck,
yeah, that's a
yeah.
weird feeling.
Dude, it's like when you have an unsolicited peck like squeeze like that, it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, it feels weird. It's like you poke something in there and it just like jumps. Like
How
that
big
doesn't feel
was it?
good.
A 30 gauge, half inch?
It's a 29 gauge half inch,
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll just grab a pinch of fat on the chest and then just poke right in there. It's really easy. So
Yeah.
I took the BPC yesterday there, and the TB 500, which I don't really have like a ton of TB 500. You have to run that shit for as long as like a couple months. I don't really know, a couple vials of it. So I'm only gonna
It
have two
adds up in
shots.
price.
Yeah. Um, I don't think it's totally necessary because it's not like in pain, but like, and I'm taking like GH and stuff like that. So I think it'll heal. Um, the way I'm like kind of like working with the injury is I'm not like trying to like stretch everything out because it's tendons that are like, ligaments and muscle that, has been kind of ripped apart a little bit, making
Mm-hmm.
that bendy straw sound. So if I go in there and try to just stretch everything out right now, like I'm just like this stuff is trying to reconnect, and
Yeah.
it might reconnect like a little scarred, right? But this can always be like worked out later.
Oh yeah.
It's not, but it's such a small thing. Like it's not gonna like build scar tissue to like a bad degree. It can always be scraped out and can always be stretched back out later. So like what I'm
Yeah.
doing is just like some like plate presses and just trying to get blood in the chest, like squeezing the chest.
Yeah.
That's about it though. Um,
You can
so
even do some like top range partial stuff. Like if you set up the Smith
yeah, just
machine,
the
like
lockout. That
yeah,
might be a good idea, actually. Yeah, just I was thinking about something like that. I just wasn't thinking what movement I can do. But the Smith machine would be good. Just set the pins
support's real
there
high. Yeah.
and just squeeze the chest. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. And go for like 20, 25 reps.
Yeah. Still keep it
You
super
know,
light, but just to kind
that
of get
might
it
be
back,
my chest day, dude. Yeah, like this guy's range of motion on his chest day is so shitty.
But then they'll look at you and they'll be like, fuck, maybe I should try it. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I should try that. He's just going for the contraction.
yeah.
What if it was the thing that like changed my chest? Like all of a sudden I've got like super 3D chest just because I'm
Yeah.
only focusing on the contraction.
I
We'll
like when I'm in
see.
the gym, I don't care like how stupid something looks or how light of a weight I'm using. Like if I
Hmm.
feel like it's gonna help me progress, like I'll do it. Like I don't care if
Yeah,
it's like 5 pound dumbbells doing anything.
yeah,
Like
dude. I mean, I have this like you know, this like hierarchy of like how I should be progressing something. And like when you have a logbook, it's easy to want to because you just look at the number. But like I know you in your logbook, you'll write down like the quality of something too,
yeah,
right?
better
Yeah,
like if I had matched the same reps as last week, I'll put in parentheses like better form, slower tempo, something. That way I
yeah,
don't like get down looking back like, oh fuck, like I didn't beat last week. I can look back and say, okay, I didn't beat the reps, but it was a better tempo. It was a better form, slower
hmm,
negative, anything like that.
yeah. So my like training, like I think the safest way to like not get injured, and I didn't take my own advice, is probably first things first is to warm up. Last week before chest day, like I actually did flies before like getting into the presses,
Hmm.
which I think is good. The other thing is so warm up, like that's a kind of above everything else, but then to progress now. The first thing I should try to progress, and people should try to progress, is not necessarily the weight. The first thing, the first like area of progress you should work on is the form better? Is the execution better? Is the time under tension better? Are the reps overall just cleaner? Are you making a better mind muscle connection to the weight? So that's number one. And then number two is, did you get more reps? With the caveat that the form is there, the form is standardized, it's perfected, the tempo is standardized, your mind muscle connection, like it's still there for the same, at least the previous amount of reps that you got last week. Getting that one or two extra where you're going to fatigue a little bit more, it might not be as much, but that's that. And then number three is then like it's time to increase weight, but with now the other caveats of like, is the form still there? Like, or is the form at least 95% there?
Hmm.
Because like you can't also be scared to like push into a weight that you haven't touched before, and it might not look as pretty as like a 5 pound dumbbell. A 20 pound dumbbell might not look as pretty as a 5 pound, but like it's necessary. Like it's not always gonna like look pretty and comfortable. Like there's gonna have to be some intensity still thrown in.
Yeah,
You know,
I
so
agree.
yeah, that's
Dusty
what I try
Gansel talks
to
about that a
follow.
lot, like
Yeah.
with his DC training, different
Hmm.
ways to progress without either bumping the weight or adding additional reps. Um,
Hmm.
but he also talks about like like you said, when you're touching a new weight for the first time, how it might not be 100%, just from a mental aspect.
But it shouldn't go all to shit,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
hmm
If you're doing like incline Smith and all of a sudden you're like arching your back and throwing your hips up and dive
kicking your
bombing the
feet
bar
out.
into the chest. Yeah.
That's scary, bro. Like, I don't know.
I've seen kids in the gym like literally like just dive bomb the bar on a bench press and like try and almost catch it and throw it back up.
Yeah.
And these kids never get hurt. That's what's like.
I know.
I never see him hurt. I see him week after week doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's waiting to happen, but yeah, man. So, I'm training around it though. Like I was able to do arms. Well, no, first workout back, I did hamstrings, calves, and quads, and or no, I just did hamstrings and like a few sets of quads, but it was primarily like a hamstring day. But I just put my like focus like. I only had like 10 or 12 sets, 10, 11, 12 sets of everything, in total for the workout. And I just made the absolute most out of every single set. And it felt great, And I was like, well, I'm not really too worried about the weight. I'm going to get the most out of it and just, be happy with that.
Yep.
And it was a great workout, man. And like I'm almost like I'm okay to be starting at the bottom because the bottom is not the bottom. The bottom is still like a really good starting place for where my weights and loads are.
That's a good perspective.
Yeah. So it's like if I get really, really good at this, like, it's only going to get better. It can only go up from here. So let's make this leg day really good. And that felt great. And then the next day I did arms, which was really good too. I mean, and then there's like for arms, I did like some intensity techniques to where like I'm like on a tricep push down, I'm like holding, like squeezing the contraction 1, 2. Like there are ways to like change things up, like holding the contraction, holding the stretch. Like I like that type of shit, man. Like to where versus okay, just a straight set of 10, like
yeah.
All right. Will the form get better? Yeah, like the form is perfect. It's where it's going to be. All right, well then I guess add 5 pounds or 10 pounds and just do that. But like, okay, but what if I can do 10 with that weight, but I could pause at the bottom for 2 seconds on each rep? Like think about like a leg press, like is that more? Are you going to get more out of that, or are you going to get more out of just throwing another 45 on?
Yeah.
And like, what's more risky for injury?
I was just going to say, like the leg press is one exercise. Like at a certain point, it's kind of fucking scary. Like when you have the whole thing loaded up with plates, like
people do it though, bro. You were the LA Fitness general manager or personal training manager?
Personal training director.
How often do people get injured there? Like, would you hear about an injury, like someone like
daily
getting an injury? Daily?
Yeah, someone was getting hurt doing something daily. I mean, especially like, have you been to the Brandon Club a lot?
There's someone always throwing way too much weight around.
It's a shit
any
show.
Fitness you go to, bro. Like, you could probably look up a compilation video on YouTube of LA Fitness, like,
gym fails or something.
There's that character, bro. He's at every single gym. He's just a different shape. That's funny, but yeah, man. So yeah, my plan is just to recover and take my set, not really a setback, but take it as a lesson to
like a sidestep.
Just to reroute, man. Been, and I got 45 weeks out from USA's, like expectations, like, and pressure, like there's really shouldn't be much pressure right now. I'm 45 weeks, and even if I'm not 45 weeks, well then I'm 58 weeks. Like there's going to be a national show. Like, I'm going to get on stage and do really, really fucking well by the time I get on stage. Don't rush me to get on stage.
Exactly.
So it's gonna be the way it's supposed to be. And I'm, bro, like I can't even think about next week right now.
No,
I want to go get tomorrow's workout in.
I mean, it's always great to like forecast like weeks, months, but you really got to take care of tomorrow first. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Otherwise, you're not going to get to the
5 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I set a target last year to do the show in Puerto Rico. I didn't set it a year out, but I set it 7 months out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good kind of gauge.
Timeline? Yeah.
Yeah. What's that, like 24 weeks or something like that? 30
It was
weeks?
like 30. It was about
Yeah.
30. And then, so, I still have another 15 before I'm at that point. Still got 10 months. But, I was going to ask you, I mean, you've had some injuries before. What kind of injuries have you had, and like how'd you work around them?
I feel like I've had a lot of injuries.
And if anybody else has had an injury or a tweak or something, comment below. I'd like to hear what you did as well.
Yeah, I was talking to Sean earlier. He just he's going to have a hernia operation. So he's kind of in that phase right now. Yeah, where he's going to have to not take a step back, just kind of
stomach hernia.
Yeah, umbilical.
Not like a herniated disc or anything, right?
No. Yeah, but my most recent one, like, was my back, hurting my back, spotting some random ass kid squatting too much weight and just fucked my back up.
You were lifting the weight?
He was supposedly lifting the weight, but he had no business using the weight he was using. But I never seen the kid before. I mean, I've seen him, but I never seen him like squatting or anything. So I was like, oh, it's probably going to be okay. But I had a bad feeling going into it. Like, when you have a bad feeling, like either going into a set or spotting someone, I should have just said, you know what, I'm not comfortable doing that. But I did it anyway.
On the bar?
405.
Oh.
I saw him do 315 though, and it looked okay. You know.
What, did he bail the bar on you?
He just he was coming up, and you put your arms under like someone's arms to kind of like assist them up, and he just completely sandbagged and just went straight down. He was coming up, and then just sandbagged and went straight down. And it I tried to prevent him from going down. This was at the Works on in Apollo Beach.
Yeah.
So I had an X-ray, and then I had.
When was this?
This was April, early April or late March. Yeah.
This year. Okay.
So I mean, I'm still able to do quite a bit, and I mean, I'm still progressing, which is almost frustrating because I feel like if I was at 100%, where would my progression be? But I had an MRI. I go back to the doctor on next Wednesday to kind of see what the problem is and see what's what. But I've had a lot of injuries, mainly lower back. I've torn my hamstring twice. Once on a lying leg curl, which was a weird experience. I was doing single leg lying leg curls. So at first
those
I
are
thought,
tough, dude. Those are tough.
They really are. At first I thought the machine broke because there was a loud ripping noise and the weight just went down. I didn't feel any pain. I was just doing my set.
Hear a noise, okay, I know some people, they hear a noise and it sounds like a fucking shotgun goes off, but I heard this noise internally. It wasn't I don't think if you were next to me you would hear it, but I felt it almost like when your knee cracks or something. It doesn't make a shit ton of noise, but you hear it internally. So did your hamstring?
This sounded like someone ripping a t-shirt.
It sounded, it's like you take a t-shirt and you tear off a little piece of the t-shirt. It's or when you put on a t-shirt with a pump, or you take your t-shirt off with a pump and you stretch out the fabric a little bit. Yeah. Because they don't make fucking big shirts big enough anymore.
So I didn't even know. I literally thought the machine broke. So I got up, I looked at it, and then I went back to continue my set, and I had zero strength in that hamstring. I was like, oh fuck, I just tore my hamstring. And it, fully bruised up and everything the next day. And then I had a similar experience doing stiff leg deadlifts. Same hamstring. Slightly different feeling. I actually felt it pop at the bottom of the rep. And that was another 8 to 10 week rehab. Didn't need surgery, thank God. But
were you able to train legs during that time?
light quad and like adductor, abductor.
Yeah,
But that was
were you
kind of
squatting at all? Or like leg press at all?
95 pounds squatting.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, just anything to kind of. What the fuck is that? I think it's this oven. Let me turn this oven off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead, bro. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day. Need to get these meals in.
But like, yeah, if there's one thing, like, I don't want to say like there's genetics for everything, right? Like genetics for response to gear, genetics for not getting injured. I get injured like a lot.
Mhm.
Like I just today I was flying. I had to fly from Florida to Philadelphia. Just putting my suitcase on like the little weighted thing, like I hurt my bicep a little bit. Literally just picking up the suitcase, putting it on the little weighing thing, I hurt my bicep.
I've had some things like that happen before.
Like non-gym shit.
Yeah, weird shit, like non-gym shit. Like I remember going to Walmart. I mean, these are things you can, I guess, be careful of, guys. Like, careful putting your fucking luggage on the thing,
Yeah.
But like, I was at Walmart, and like Walmart's carts suck. Like everywhere you go, like the wheel fucking spins like the other way, and it like
One
directs you.
doesn't work at all.
It directs you like down the ice cream aisle, and you have to now get ice cream because it
Yeah.
drove you there, basically.
At least
You
get the
know?
halo top though.
Yeah. But no, like I like yank the fucking card out, and if you ever yank anything, like never to do that in the gym, but like
Yeah.
dude, you like these carts were stuck together, so I'm like, let me just fucking pull it a little bit, and I was like, ooh, what did that do to my bicep? But like these little things, like they heal up, like
That is true. They're not like
they do, but like I don't know, man.
they're just frustrating.
Do you feel like your hamstring is fully healed?
Oh yeah, that was a few years ago.
Yeah.
And there's no difference visually between the two hamstrings either, thankfully.
I hear that if you actually tear your hamstring, it looks better.
Fuad tore his hamstring and he says, swears it looks better than the other one.
I don't know. But no, I've never torn it or pulled a hamstring. My Achilles will do this clicking thing sometimes. It
Really?
will yeah, I don't know what it is, dude. I think it wait, what the fuck? I mean, it's like when I'm like getting ready for like to do squats. Like I don't want to fucking tear an Achilles.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like when you're just starting to warm up?
I think it's probably just tendonitis. But
Yeah.
it doesn't feel painful. It just like sometimes it'll just click a little bit.
If it's not painful, I wouldn't really worry about it too much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still not, not what normally would happen.
Yeah.
That's like sometimes like my shoulder will like not pop, but like I don't know how to describe it. Like almost like move a little bit. But it feels okay, but it just feels like it kind of like slides a little bit. You know what I mean?
My shoulder, I don't know if you can see this, but like when it'll like, I guess if you watch like right here, well, no, I don't even think you can see it. Wait, do you see? Look here in this area.
Uh-huh.
You watch my tricep.
Yeah, at the very back.
Like when it
almost like
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it right there. I saw it right there a little bit. Yeah.
I think it's the way things heal. Like they're not going to heal perfect, but they're going to heal like they're going to still ultimately heal.
Yeah.
Did you ever use BPC? So far, I only took one shot of BPC, so I can't really determine if it's helping. I did have some pain in my knees before though, and like I just injected it like every day, like I think like twice a day, or just took big doses of it, and I think it actually does help. Have you ever used BPC?
I've used it quite a bit. I feel like for me, it's better with like muscle than joint. Like I've used it in my knee quite a bit and haven't seen a ton. I put it in my back and haven't seen a ton. But if I've like strained a pec a little bit or like my shoulder a little bit, if I actually put it like right in the muscle, like it has really helped.
Okay. Yeah. What about do you take fish oil like regularly?
I do, yeah. I'll take one fish oil with every meal except for my high carb days.
Okay. Yeah, I've been slacking on the fish oil. I'll take two in the morning. I've been doing that the last few days. Um, and but or like I'm sometimes I'm bad about like taking the health subs. Which I'm being better about now, especially because I'm like trying to get my digestion right, and like I know that
Yeah,
like the anti-inflammatory effects of fish oil are really good. And um,
I really
you know,
like fish oil quite a bit.
yeah, dude, one actually, you know what? Let me actually bring this up. One time I did I have a funny story. I injured my bice. I don't even know what it was. I arm wrestled. I was
Uh,
never a professional arm wrestler in any way. I was out at this bar with my buddy who's actually in town now, who I was hanging out with today. We were in Milwaukee, and I was getting ready for my show in 2019, and I was like 15 or 16 weeks out, and like um we were at this bar, and I arm wrestled this girl, like, and she was tough, dude. And I'm telling you, she was fucking
fuck.
tough. Yeah, like I'm not
Was
gonna
there like
say
an
like
arm wrestling contest going on, or what was
I
the
don't know how we
context?
got into this, but we just decided it was that we were arm wrestling, and
Yeah.
then like next thing you know, she has like this wrist technique or whatever, and she was pretty strong, but I'm like, I'm not losing to a girl, like no fucking way. So then I like put her arm down, and I get off. I'm like, huh. And,
Oh
and I
shit.
was I was drinking alcohol, and like like alcohol is like not good for your joints. Like I remember like when I used to drink, like if I drank like that weekend and like tried to go to the gym Monday, I was like, ooh, I'm achy. Like, like this is all
Yeah.
dried up. It's like a diuretic. Um,
It
and
literally is.
yeah, and so like then my arm here, well, actually, like I was just like, oh, it's it feels like it's a little, whatever. I wound up going to the
Hmm.
gym that next morning. I'm like, oh, it's arm day. Like, why does like these things always happen like before an arm day? But I'm gonna get the arms in anyways. Got the arms in, and then go home, take a nap, eat, wake up. Like, why does that kind of still feel like that? It doesn't really feel right. Oh well. Tomorrow's chest day. We'll see how it feels. A good night's sleep, probably heal up. I wake up. I go try to train chest, and like when you're pressing and you have that tendonitis in there, it's like
Yeah.
you can't press it the way you'd want it because the joint, like I guess, can't stack the way it would like to. So like my arm was like giving out pressing,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, rack it, put it down. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do here. And then it was like a month. It was like 3 or 4 weeks long to where like I kept like reoccurring this injury to where like um just shit happened like pulling a cart out of the at Walmart like or
Hmm.
like throwing your bag somewhere like these like non-gym things like just aggravated it again. And then I went on a golf trip and like I swung a golf club and like when you swing a golf club you're kind of moving your arm like that and then after one swing it was like nauseating how painful it
Oh
was.
shit.
Yeah, and then I was like researching like how do I like recover this injury? Like what's like a super healing protocol? And like I don't know where I read this, but it was like on one of the forums and it was like 20 fish oil a day should like super like mega dose fish oil. And like I
Hmm.
think I don't know if they talked about Deca too, but it was already on Deca. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna up it to like 450 or 500 or whatever I did. And dude, like within like a few days, completely healed. Like I
Really?
took like 2 or 3 days off the gym, up the Deca, took fish oil like 20 pills a day, and it literally healed my
Wow,
like
that's cool.
no after. Yeah, so I'm gonna get on my fish oil a bit more. You take one with every meal.
Yeah, so six a day.
Yeah. And then let's let's go into diet now because that kind of is the next topic I wanted to hit on is and what we were talking about before we jumped on. So fats are like an interesting macro. Like the thing is with fats, uh, for those listening, like fats are like very much overrated in terms of like healthy fats and like, oh, you need healthy fats. Like you do need some healthy fats. You need EFAs and essential fatty acids. So there are essential fats.
Hmm.
Um, but like you don't doesn't mean like you have avocado toast and you need to eat 6 eggs and you need to eat like
Coconut oil in your coffee.
yeah, or butter in your coffee or like like um I don't know, like I mean there's a million like Fats are like okay, fats are pretty good. Like they should be at a for a natural athlete. I think they have a more of an importance, but for like an enhanced athlete, like fats are not as necessary, like as much as a natural athlete may need. And I don't even know if like super dosing fats or having a super, a lot higher of a fat intake. Like I think there's a ceiling. Like after you hit like this much fat, like your body's not really doing, it's going to just store it at that point.
Mhm.
It's only going to be able to make so much hormone, from fats, right? So fats, cholesterol, things like that, they help you manufacture hormones. Fats also can help with digestion and like bowel regularity. It kind of greases up the GI. Um, some fats are inflammatory, pro-inflammatory, like your omega 6s, um, which would be like your unhealthy fats, and then you have like your more omega 3s, which would be like your anti-inflammatory fats. You do need both though to some degree. Like you're gonna have some inflammation, which is natural, which is like needed for um like if you were to say take like if your body couldn't have an inflammation response, like you took prednisone or something that's like anti-inflammatory all the time, it's going to blunt your body's ability to build muscle, because when you train a muscle and you injure a muscle or a tendon or whatever, there's an inflammatory response, right? So your body now knows where to go to fix that. If there's no inflammation response, the body has no idea where to go. It has no signal to repair anything. So going back to fats and like tying it in, because we really just wanted to touch on it about diet, even though the fish oil, the megadose in the fish oil seemed to really help me heal up some tendonitis. I feel like fats sometimes like will throw my digestion off, especially as I get into the off season, to where when you're pushing so much food in an off season, you need to keep like everything moving quickly in and out. Like you don't really want things slow burning or slowing down. So, um, tell me like pros and cons, pros or cons, for fats for you, Jimmy. Like, I mean, you take fish oil with every meal, but then like what other added fats do you have in the diet? Like, where do you like them in the diet? Do you like them in every meal, in one or two meals, or high fats, low fats? Where do you put your fats, and where do you feel like your body does best with them at digestion wise? Overall,
Yeah, so right now
overall.
my fats I have are evenly spaced out through the days. So like on my rest day, I'll have added. So we're not counting like the fat from the protein source or the carbs. I'll have 10 grams of added fat with every meal on a rest day. And then a normal training day, I'll have 7 grams of fat um, added to every meal. High carb days, as close to zero fat as possible. And we actually started off a little bit earlier. Our fats were a little bit higher. I was doing like 14 on the rest days and then 10 on the training days. And at a certain point, Justin lowered the fat and actually added more calories worth of carbs and actually
Uh-huh.
like dropped weight. So me personally, I feel like I respond so much better to carbs than fat. If I have like a slightly fattier meal, like even something like, let's say 20 grams of fat, which
Mm-hmm.
is, I mean, it's not crazy high, but it's a little bit higher. Like it just completely kills my appetite, kills my digestion. I had like a fattier meal like 2 weeks ago. It was
Mm-hmm.
rainbow trout, which is kind of like a fattier fish. It's like really oily.
Mm-hmm.
And I was almost like felt like I had food poisoning after. Like I was super nauseous. Like I didn't throw up, but I just felt like horrible. And I was like, I could have sworn like it was bad fish or something. But then like a week later, I had like just 2 slices of pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing, like I started to get nauseous, feeling like I had food poisoning. And I just feel like it's the fat content. Like right now, for whatever reason, I think my calories and my food intake is so high that my digestion needs to like be on point. And throwing in like
It gets
extra
so
fat is
regular.
just like
Yeah.
killing it. Yeah. So I think like you were saying, for a natural athlete, fat is more important, but I still think the minimum number of fat is much lower than people think. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have people like recommending like the what is it, like the 40-40-20 split, like for people, like 40 protein, 40 carbs, 20 fat. I really don't think you need 20% of your calories coming from fat. Like if I was a natural athlete, I think you could probably get away with like 40 grams of fat a day and still have enough
that's
fat
pretty
to like regulate
reasonable.
hormones.
Yeah.
You know? And then, like you said, for a natural athlete, significantly lower because we're optimizing our hormones through, exogenous means. So maybe for an enhanced athlete, maybe 20 grams of fat a day. I feel like you could
I
probably
mean,
get away.
my fats get pretty low, like towards the end of a prep. Now, I mean, like, so the way Justin like lays it out, or I've heard Paul explain it, is he'll have like 0.3 grams of fat, or what is it, 0.3? Yeah, like 0.3 grams of fat would be like
Per
a low
pound.
day per
Yeah.
pound of body weight. So if you're 200 pounds times 0.3, that's like, I think that's still 60 grams of fat. But that's on a low day, right? So you're not really having a lot of carbs that day.
So yeah, I have 60 grams of fat right now on my low days.
Yeah. So yeah, 0.3 times, say you're a 200-pound guy. That's 60 grams of fat. And then on like a medium day, it's like 0.15. So that'd be 30 grams of fat. And then on like a high day, close to zero as possible.
Yeah.
Now that's like average would be, if we were to average that out, let's say you have 3 high days. Now let's just say you have 2 high days. So zero fat. You have 4 medium days. That's 30 fat. You have one you have
Low
one
day.
low day. Yeah. So plus 60. So 4 times 30 plus 60 divided by 7 days out of the week. That's 25 grams of fat average per day. So that's pretty low fat, like overall for the week. That's 25 times 7 is 150. So it's not a ton. But dude, I used to eat like 110 grams of fat a day, or 120.
Same.
I used to do that though because I took Accutane and you needed a lot of fat to like be able to absorb the vitamins. And then we got a question here. Are you sticking with the same fats or rotate through different ones to accommodate with vitamin efficiency?
I personally will do the same. I'll only rotate fats because of taste. I'll do like all almonds for the most
Because you're
part.
doing
all
like
day.
7 grams. Like, okay, so 7 grams of
Yeah.
fat. What does that look like in your meals?
It's going to be 12 grams of almonds, which is, just a handful. I mean, I'll switch to avocado like for taste, but I really don't vary the fats, for, any kind of hormone means or mineral variation.
I don't know too much about vitamin efficiency of like what vitamins are going to absorb with what fats better. When I was like taking Accutane, because so vitamins A, D, E, and K are all fat soluble vitamins. I believe maybe some B vitamins are. So in order to get those vitamins to actually absorb, it's good to take them with fats, but they're fat soluble. So there's still lipids in your blood that they're going to bind to and be transported to where they need to go. So I don't necessarily think like vitamins A, D, E, and K need to be supplemented with alongside fats, but like a lot of people take their multivitamin in the morning if they take one, and they'll take it along with some fish oil. So it kind of just makes it easy. That's kind of getting away from the topic, but I'm
Did
actually
you
not
have
really too
like
sure about
during
that.
prep, for example, did you have like different fat sources, like almonds this meal, cashews another meal, avocado another meal, or was it the same
No,
throughout?
it was always the same. I mean, we got down
Yeah.
to like one whole egg. I had like 20 grams of almond butter, or like 10 or 15 grams of almond butter for like meal one. And then like my post workout would have some fat in it too, actually. You know what I do like about fats though, is that they definitely help stabilize your appetite a bit, because if you're having a lot of carbs, like if you're having like pure carbs, like on your high days, you're probably pretty hungry like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, right? When you
Yeah.
have a no fat meal, because the fats like will slow things down like a lot. Or no, depending on how much you have, like 7 grams, probably not too much, but you have 20 grams. Now it's like, okay, things, you're at, like, I think each 10 grams add another hour to the digestion
I would say
process.
so. Yeah.
I would say that's a pretty reasonable like rule of thumb. Like each 10 grams you're going to eat of fat is going to put another hour on that meal, or more, maybe another hour and a half, somewhere around there. Like if you eat, say, a chicken and rice meal and you're usually hungry 2 hours after, try adding 10 grams of fat, and like the only thing I can see people switching out would be like olive oil for like almond butter because you're gonna have some carbs or fiber in some almond butter. But like,
Or maybe
I
just
don't.
for like satiety, like
It's
rather
like
than just knock down a tablespoon of olive oil, I'd rather eat, some almond
yeah,
butter.
yeah, me too, me too. Like I don't really think it makes too big of a difference, but it's something over time that like okay, how is this affecting your digestion? If this really slows, okay, if olive oil is going to burn out in an hour and almond butter is going to burn out in an hour and 30 minutes, like yeah, that's going to make a difference over time, but I don't know. I think I've also heard like certain blood types do better with certain fats, but I don't
Yeah.
know enough about that to like um to really comment on that. Do you
I
ever use
think a good
coconut oil?
example of this, say that again.
You ever use coconut oil?
I used to.
I've had a coach put it in my plan before.
John Meadows was really like big on coconut oil, so when I was watching him a lot, I started
Mhm.
using it, but I didn't notice anything,
I felt
outrageous
like
with it.
avocados were pretty good. I would have it in my last meal.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I would say as a fat source, avocado is probably like the fastest digestion for me
Yeah.
personally.
My favorite fat is I just love if I could have nut butter as being my whole fat source for everything, I'd be happy with that, man.
Really.
Yeah.
But just one
Um,
more thing on digestion, like
mhm,
I get 3 cheat meals a week if I want, like on the high days.
mhm.
And those are always last meal of the day. And I think a
Yeah.
reason is because most people are going to have like a burger and fries or pizza or something with a lot of fat. And if you
Mhm,
have that like at meal 3, you're probably not going to be hungry at meal 4. And you might
mhm.
end up missing a meal on that day. So you can literally tell like the way Justin structures his diet, you can kind of see, his thought process of, what fat could do if you have an excess of it during the day.
Yeah. What I will say about like piggybacking off what you just said right there, like a lot of guys and I used to be like this too, like when you're trying to gain weight, like you hear you got to eat big to get big and then like why like you probably might not know why chicken and rice is so like common with bodybuilding is because it's pretty low fat. Now, like you go out to a restaurant, you're gonna eat big to get big, and you're gonna get a burger and fries. It's lunchtime, or you're gonna have like a peanut butter mass gainer shake in the morning. Like the thing is, like okay, like let's just say you have your peanut butter oats and mass gainer shake in the morning or whatever, like, and now you're full for 6 hours before you like are ready to go eat another
Yeah.
meal, and you got 1,000 calories in that shake, right? Well, in that 6 hour window, someone else ate 3 chicken and rice meals that were 500 calories each, and they came from
Yeah.
protein and carbs, very minimal fat. Now that person has ate 1,500 calories, and you only ate 1,000 calories, and they're hungry to eat another meal in about an hour or two, and
Hmm.
you may or may not be even ready to go eat that next meal yet. So the way like meal timing and structuring things and where you play your food at it definitely has some legitimacy to it. Um, but that will fuck you up. Like that's the thing. Like you can eat 6 meals a day. For the people that like feel like, oh man, 6 meals is a lot. Like pull all the fats out and just see how easy it is.
Hmm.
Like that, but that's the thing. Like you have to be in control of your food. It can't be Chipotle because you go to Chipotle, it's going to have at least 20 grams of fat. Whether you order the chicken and rice, they're cooking things in butter and on a grill that has butter on it or some kind of oil. Like you're probably going to wind up with like 10, 15, 20, 25 grams of fat, even in just your basic chicken and rice meal at Chipotle.
Have you ever ordered egg whites at IHOP?
Maybe. You know what though, dude? I
They come out like covered in
buttery.
oil. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's weird like eating buttered eggs. I went to my grandma's the other week. That's like 2 weeks ago when I was there, and she made me breakfast on Sunday because I said, "Yeah, grandma, make me breakfast on Sunday, like whatever, like I could have a meal, like let my grandma cook me something." And like she buttered up the eggs, and like I had like 2 whole eggs on like English muffins. It was pretty good, and I put like some jam on the English muffin.
That sounds good.
It was really good, dude. It was really good. But yeah, no, I just use like Pam spray. Like that's the other thing. Like I'll have clients like, oh, can I put olive oil on it? Like you take a bottle of olive oil, you pour it like this. There's 15 grams of fat right there that you
Yeah.
just cooked your food in. Like that's another 100 or 200 calories right there. By the but like those calories are different from what carbs are going to do. Your body's going to burn carbs right now. In order for your body to use a fat, it's going to have to, it goes through a different process, unless it's like an MCT oil. So
Yeah, I mean, protein and carbs, your body has to burn calories to convert those to fat.
Mm-hmm.
Fat, your body's readily able to absorb.
Yeah, it's ready to store it. So if you've kind of gone over your fat for the day, like your body will just kind of store the fat, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like almost to the point where it's like like what you said, like you're eating more carbs and getting leaner, So it's like it's like I almost, and this is just getting like, this is not, I don't want to like go over anyone's head or like share like something that is too complicated, because I wouldn't really think of it that way. What I would say from this is, if you're having trouble eating, pull your fats and just see like how easy it is to eat protein and carbs. But the thing I will say is, like, I don't almost think calories are all created equal. Like, like fats are gonna, like, I think after you hit a certain limit, like you're just storing them at that point,
Mm-hmm.
Carbs now, like, I feel like you can speed your body up with carbs almost,
Mm-hmm.
Because your body's going to get hot. It's going to burn them. It's going to use them. Like when I've had my fats lower, I almost could eat unlimited carbs.
Yeah.
Because my body would just use them, Sometimes I'd wake up sweating in the middle of the night because my body's just burning through carbs. And I was having like maybe an egg or two in the morning, and then maybe I think that was like maybe like a red meat meal, and that was it. I maybe had like a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, but when I went really low fat, like I got shredded and I was hungry and I was burning through the food like nothing.
Yeah, like as far as like all calories not being created equal, like I think a good example is like the high carb day. Like I'm doing 1,000 grams of carbs. Can you imagine the equivalent in fat if I was doing that 3 days a week? Like 400 grams of fat.
As shit.
Yeah, exactly. Same calories, but just different macronutrient. My body would look completely different.
You can't, like, you store some fat in the muscle. There's like intramuscular triglycerides, but the thing is, like, carbs you can really store in the muscle. Like that's its first place to go to. Fat has a fat cell that it's going to go store in and wait to be used. And the only time you ever tap into that is when your body doesn't have enough blood sugar in the bloodstream, insulin levels are low, and your body says, okay, let's pull from some fats. That's what that's for. So that is interesting. Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, like, just by, I don't know, like keto diet.
I'm not a fan.
Have you ever done it?
Yeah, a few times when I've had to in prep, just because you got to pull all the carbs.
Were you going like protein, vegetable, and like, okay, a little bit of fat? Were you going like high fats?
So at a certain point, I thought
making up calories with fats.
Yeah, I've done both. I kind of fell into that. There was hype a while back. This was like in 2017. Mm-hmm. I did a show where I like pulled all my carbs pretty early, like 8 weeks out, and just replaced them with fat, because I thought that was going to be the best way to get lean. And I looked like shit. I felt like shit.
Yeah.
And then I've done things where, you're just so low in the diet that I just go protein and veggie at that point, which I wouldn't call that keto. I would just call that like, I don't even know what I would call that. Like,
poverty,
the worst possible. Yeah. Poverty macros.
Yeah.
And I mean, at a certain point, I feel like you might have to do that. But I don't think you should ever just swap out carbs for fat just for thinking that's going to be some kind of magic key to fat loss.
Yeah. Nick Trigili had me do that though, actually, at one point, but it was just for a day. It was on my rest day. I would do like 80 grams of carbs from like I was doing like 350, and he would drop them to 80, but then he would bump the fats up. And I think I like did that throughout my prep in 2019. I'm not sure. I couldn't recall, but I have done keto before. Like I have done a keto diet or like a higher fat diet, and like protein and fat, which that sucks, dude. I like carbs way more than I like fats. But like
100%.
what I did notice is that you do drop like 10 pounds on keto. Like you drop a shit ton of water from like all the carbs.
Initially, yeah.
Yeah, you lose like 10 pounds, and then like you can see some more definition pretty quickly just because you have some water that's pulled off. And then what I like noticed was like I was young when I did it. What I noticed is like, damn, like how much food actually like when your blood sugar levels is very stable, your energy is very stable. So like
Yeah.
I didn't understand that like, oh, I can't just drink 250 grams of carbs before school and expect to stay up and awake during my class. Dude, I was definitely like pre-diabetic at that point, you know, but like, and then I had like almonds or like nuts in the shake, like walnuts or something. But yeah, so that's how I learned about like, you know, your blood sugar actually, and then having an effect on your mood, like, you know, hangry. Like you can't get hangry on keto, bro, because your blood
Yeah,
sugar is so
that's a good point.
stable, you know. Unless you're like really starving, you know. But I don't know how much of a deficit I was actually in. I was learning how to track my macros then, and it felt good. And like people say they feel good on like higher fat diets, and uh, like you have like the Liver King or like whoever, like, you know, you have a lot of like hype around the diet, or like the carnivore diet. I think people feel good because their blood sugar's not all over the place. But the reality is, I think you'll feel better if you know how to like properly manage your blood sugars. Like bro, my workouts are gonna be way better. Like if I have like a higher, I'm going to the gym with high, like some slight high blood sugars. You know, I'm gonna have a sick pump. You know,
Mhm.
and then they're gonna stabilize because my workout's gonna like bring them to a certain spot because I'm gonna be using those carbs during my workout. And then after my workout, I'm gonna replenish them, and then, you know, they're gonna kind of stay at a certain spot. Um, I don't know. That feels better for me. But I think if you're like trying to live more of a lifestyle, like, yeah, I would probably go pretty low carb and higher fat. People say they feel better, and people say, like, oh, I think my body likes fats more. But it's like, no, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
I think it
I
has to do
think
a lot with your
you,
lifestyle too.
it's
Like if
your lifestyle. Like, if you're busy working all the time,
yeah,
you know, and you need
if you're like
consistent
an
energy.
endurance athlete or a bodybuilder, someone that's
Mhm.
doing like a lot of heavy exercise, your body needs carbs. Like
Yeah.
it just needs it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you ever, like have like one of your like bigger carb meals like during your work day and you're like, all right, I'm ready to fucking pass out?
I really don't notice. I don't feel any different on like a big
Mhm,
carb meal versus a regular meal. Really. Now I'm using insulin on those big carb meals. I don't know if that has a
mhm.
an effect on it somewhat because my blood sugar is not super high.
Yeah.
It's always somewhat stabilized because the insulin's controlling that. That could be a reason why I don't have those kind of like spikes and dips.
Mhm,
But I feel like my normal high day carb meal is like 150 carbs, and
mhm.
I eat that and I feel fine. But
Yeah.
again, I'm supplementing insulin with it, so that could explain that.
Yeah, but you're just taking insulin meals 1, 3, and 5 though, right?
Yeah, but
But
it's
those
still in
then,
effect for the
yeah, it's still in
you know.
effect for the next 3 hours, you know, or so
hmm
if it's a, you know, like a Humalog or you know, is Humalog considered a rapid acting insulin or a fast
Yeah,
acting?
I use
Yeah,
Novolog, which is
or
pretty much the same
Novolog is
thing.
the same thing. Um So I've never done like to where you add specifically 7 grams of fat to the meals. Like my
hmm
meals, the way they look is like breakfast, you know, it's gonna have some almond butter in it. Meal two is gonna be fat free. It's gonna be chicken, rice, and a banana, you know, trace fats, whatever you're getting from the chicken. But like, you know, we're not adding no added fats. Post workout is cream of rice. Um, I think I've got some fat in that meal. The next meal is a red meat meal, which I'm doing like 96 foreground beef. There's some veggies in there. There's rice in there, and then meal. I'm only doing 5 meals actually right now.
Bigger
And
meals.
then they're a little bit bigger. Uh, but what I will say is that like if like when I was doing like the more the carb cycling, um, it, you're I mean after a show like your body's just so fucking hungry that like I have a client that's doing fucking great. It was doing really great on it, dude. Like his blood sugar's 86 in the morning, like perfect spot, like 85 every
Yeah,
day.
that's
Like,
perfect.
even after like eating some shit, like the next day, like, but he stayed on top of his cardio really good. He's done really well. Like I could tell based off his blood sugars that he hasn't fucked up on the diet whatsoever,
Hmm.
because they'll send me those blood sugars like every morning, and you can see his physique is holding up, and he's getting stronger and he's rebounding and he's filling out. His weight's gone up now a little bit, but like mentally, I think it can be challenging to carb cycle because I think it's good. Like if you're mid off season, I think it's perfect time to carb cycle because like
Yeah.
you're not crazy about food at that point. You're kind of like, I need a fucking break from food. And it's a great
Yeah.
way to take a break, you know? Um, but after a show, you're so food crazy that like if your like first you're very insulin sensitive, so you have high carbs, like 30 minutes, you're hungry again.
Hmm.
You eat 150 carbs like and just protein, you're hungry within 20, 30 minutes. Now if you were to throw in like that 10 grams of fat in there, or 10, 15 grams of fat, or have more fat like evenly spaced out throughout the day, those meals are going to burn a little bit longer and your blood sugar is going to stay a little bit more like consistent versus like a spike and a crash. Because when you have that blood sugar drop, even if like your blood sugar is like dropping to like from 120 or 130 to like 100, like you woke up in the morning when your blood sugar was 70 or 76 or
Yeah.
86 or 91 or 89, like that's a low blood sugar and you'd think you'd feel the hungriest because your blood sugar is really low, but it's been stable at that spot. Your body will signal hunger when your blood sugar drops because it's saying like shit's dropping, we're fucking shit's about to hit the fan. If this keeps dropping at this rate, like we're gonna fucking die, or we're gonna have to tap into like reserve storage, your fats, right? So that'll signal hunger. But when your body's like post show, it's so good at doing that, that like you're spiking this hunger signal more and more and more. So it can be mentally tough. I think on your like low days, like you got to load your fats up that day or something. But I
Hmm.
like what you have going on the medium day to where like you're still trickling in fats.
Yeah. And carbs are
Mhm.
still high. Like my base meal on a medium day is 100 carbs, and then pre
Uh-huh.
post workout it goes to 135, and all those
Yeah.
meals are 7 grams of fat.
Mhm. And you have what, 6 meals?
6 meals.
6 times 7 is 42. So like yeah, that's a good amount of fat, but it's not overkill. Like
No, especially since it's evenly spaced out. Like there's not one meal with 20 grams of fat in it.
right, yeah. I think I like that idea better just because you're gonna feel consistent each meal.
Hmm.
But seriously, guys, try it. If you're like having trouble eating, pull all your fats and just see what happens. Now, I
Yeah.
wouldn't recommend it for long term because you're going to need some essential fats. Maybe take a fish oil or something with each meal. But if you do that for like if you have no appetite right now, you do that for 2 or 3 days, you're going to be hungrier than a fucking horse. Now, you have to keep it clean though. It doesn't mean like French fries, like yeah, they're carbs, but like they're fried in oil, like
Yeah.
they're fat. So it's got to be like rice, chicken, cereal, oats. Even oats will have a little bit of fat though. So like I probably wouldn't say oats, but I'd say like rice, cereal, bread,
Potato,
muffins. Well, not like English muffins, not like Dunkin' Donuts muffins or like chocolate
blueberry
chip
muffins.
muffins, blueberry muffins. Um, So I don't know.
And then
Give
what
that
you can do is you
experiment.
can kind of like slowly build your fats back up. Like I would say, pull your fats maybe for 5 days, and then maybe add 2 grams of fat to every meal. If your
And
appetite's
yeah,
still
to see
great,
what you can
then add
tolerate. Yeah.
4 grams of fat to every meal, and then kind of see
Hmm.
what your baseline is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know there's people who eat like 5 or 6 eggs first thing off the bat in the day.
I used to do that.
I know. I used to do that too. Guy's sister Nino does that, but he say he's not hungry like later on in the day, and like Fuad's like, yeah, because you're fat. It's like
Yeah,
now you might be able to do those fats before bed because
yeah.
now you have 8 hours or 7 or 6 hours or 10 hours or however long you get sleep to be digesting and using those fats. You know.
I was doing that last year. Last year, I would eat 6 hard-boiled eggs in the middle of the
Hmm.
night every day.
Hmm.
I don't know why. I was just kind of decided 6 eggs. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, eat it, go back to bed.
Yeah.
But then all my other meals were relatively low fat. So
Yeah. Here's the other thing: like fat doesn't turn into muscle. Like you're not gonna put on fat and convert it to muscle. But the thing is, if you get a little bit fat, if you do like a big bulk and you're like a a young kid or something, like you put on a little bit of body fat, maybe you need to a little bit, you'll be stronger because you have
yeah,
more cushion between your joints and stuff like that. But that fat's not turning into muscle. You're gonna have to like diet that off eventually. But you build more muscle, you'll have an easier time dieting that off. So there is like a means to putting on some body fat, but like above 15%, I think is like you're just not setting yourself up for a good spot to be in.
yeah. Like they say,
I've also read that fats hurt your insulin sensitivity more than like carbs, like higher carbs actually do.
really.
Or
Okay,
or
I
when
could see that.
or when like fats, like high fats are combined with like carbs or something like that.
I know
Because
George
now
Farah used to be. He used to
what
always
was he
say,
saying?
"Never have this." George Farah used to preach. I don't know if he still does.
Never have
This was
carbs and fats together.
in the same meal. You have one or the
Mhm.
other, and I
Yeah.
even kind of fell into that for a
That's an old
while.
school thing. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kinda how my diet is a little bit, like, I have some meals that are just protein, carbs, and then, I have meals that are protein, carbs, and fats, you know?
I mean, it does
Um,
make sense because like you wouldn't have carbs and fat and take insulin. So,
well,
why would you just have a ton of carbs and a ton of fat together also?
here's what would make sense to me, right? If I'm putting carbs in the bloodstream and then I slow it down, so I put carbs in the bloodstream. My pancreas says, "Hey, we should move some of those carbs out and put them in the muscle." But then I throw fat in there. I'm kind of like blocking that insulin from being able to get to that carb. You know,
Hmm.
so what does the body say? Like blood sugar's getting a little high. Like pump a little bit more insulin. You know, I that kind of could make sense
That's
to me.
interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I don't know the actual science behind that, but I'd have to look into that more. But that's what would kind of make sense to me. If the body said, "Hey, look, things are a bit slowed down. Make more insulin to get that shit." It's like clogging a toilet. Like the fats are clogging up the drain to like get the carbs actually into the
Yeah.
muscle. Your body's like, just fucking plunge it harder. Like
Yeah.
just fucking pump out the insulin harder, and then like you have now all this insulin floating around and you're knocking on these cells and then possibly creating insulin resistance that way.
Well, we know
Maybe.
like the benefit of insulin is that it's shuttling carbs into the muscle as opposed to maybe into fat storage. So if your blood sugar, if you take a bunch of carbs and then you take fat, which is going to prevent that rise in blood sugar, those carbs are maybe going to get converted into fat. They're not going to get shuttled into the muscle from the
Hmm.
insulin.
Yeah. So the other thing with insulin is it will store anything. So if it sees amino acids, it's going to store it in the first muscle cell. Carbs, it's going to store into a muscle cell. Um, and then fats, it will store into a fat cell, right? So it's going to take anything out of your blood and start driving nutrients. Um, you've always ran GH with insulin, right?
Yeah. As soon as I
Yeah.
started taking GH, I took insulin with it. I started both at the same time.
It's interesting, man. I mean, sometime you should try just like going lower fats, and I don't know if I don't know if you would need to pull the insulin, but the first time I ran GH, I didn't run it with insulin. and I was taking 2 units in the morning, fasted. I'd wait about 45 minutes to eat, and then I would take it post workout, in a lower blood sugar state because you just burned up the carbs in the gym. And like I was getting lean as shit, dude. And like I wasn't getting contest lean, but I was
Mhm.
like, I was getting pretty lean for not trying, and I was eating like 500 grams of carbs. And my
Okay.
fats were probably about 30 grams because I would have like maybe one red meat meal or like a ground 93.7 ground turkey, and then I'd have like 2 eggs in the morning. And that would be like my fats for the day.
Hmm.
So somewhere around 20, 30, maybe 25 grams or so. Um, yeah, interesting, man. I mean, comment below. Like, I almost like want to like if someone out there is a high fat person and their body really does work well on high fats, I would like to know. And
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Everybody's body is different. Like I think though, for a majority of people, like you may feel better on higher fats in terms of like your energy levels, and if your carbs aren't crazy high, then I can see you possibly feeling better because you're going to be just more stable overall. Um, but I don't think you're going to build as much muscle or have as good of a composition in terms of body fat uh, eating higher fats.
Hmm.
Now, the other thing you were saying with about the fats is that you feel like they can throw your digestion off sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's like with the
Big time.
cheat meals and stuff. Like you
Yeah.
said, they kind of upset your stomach.
Even with like, I mean, I wouldn't call like a rainbow trout meal like a cheat meal. It was just like a
Mhm.
higher fat fish, and even that screwed up my digestion.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I
it's
don't know
not
how
just
much
like the
fat was in it.
saturated trans fats. Like
Mhm.
this was like, I would say if I had to guess, I would say maybe this meal had 20, 25 grams of fat in it. And that was
Right.
just enough to just
So it's like
kill my
3
stomach.
times of what you'd be used to.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Mhm. So, um, yeah, man, I mean, I like last off season, I would just skip the free meal because like the free meal I wanted was like not even that I wanted it, but it was like, all right, I'll have a burger and fries, like because it's kind of clean. It's like I get to
Yeah.
have some fries and a burger, like, and like I'd wake up the next morning, like, um, still like feeling like I'm burping up the burger because you're eating
Yeah.
5 meals before that, like you're not or six, 5, 6 meals before that, and it's easy to eat a burger for like your second meal because it's like you've only had one meal, but
Yeah.
like good luck eating 4 more meals after that burger. That's why the free meal is usually the last meal of the day. So I would often skip that. Sometimes what I would do even though is like I would pull like if it said like almond butter in one of the meals, I would just like I'm not having it.
Yeah.
And like the only reason why I would put it back in is if like my digest if I had trouble going to the bathroom. Like if you can't go to the bathroom, like it means your GI is probably not lubricated. You don't have any like enough oil, going through the GI to like lubricate things. And like you could take fiber powder and stuff like that, but like I think you need some essential fats.
Hmm.
And like that would catch up to me. I think after like 3 or 4 days, if I was pulling a fat out of a meal,
Yeah.
because you have also all this food that needs to get to move through. So I like where my diet's at right now, though. I think it's pretty steady. I get 2 free meals a week.
That's good, dude.
Yeah. So everything's rolling pretty good. I feel pretty consistent overall, like being able to diet day and you know, insulin sensitivity is pretty good. So you know, week 6 of the rebound. I want to see what my blood work looks like just to like see where we're gonna push to because, um, I mean, I think we talked about EQ last week a little bit.
Hmm.
Did we ever talk about DNP?
Briefly, we didn't
Did you
dive
ever
into it
use
though.
it?
Never have.
No, yeah. So I've been interested in reading some research on that. Not that like it's like gonna be something that puts size on you. DNP is a fat burner, and like I feel like you can get canceled for just talking about DNP because like it's one of those things that it's so like taboo. But
People use it though.
people use it, and like the thing is, if you're honestly, like you can't really find it unless you know someone who knows someone.
I've
Like
only
they don't.
seen one source offer it.
Yeah. It's not very common. Um. Yeah. We talked about EQ. Dude, do you ever feel like you have a pump all day long?
Initially, like I would say my first, probably from like week 4 to week 8, coming off my show, I felt like that.
Dude, I don't know if you saw that video I posted on my Instagram of like the hotel lighting.
Yeah, your
Dude,
back was crazy.
Dude, I swear it feels like I have like a nonstop fucking pump. Like, do you ever get back pumps?
Oh
Like
God,
lower
yeah.
back pumps? I was getting some of those. I feel like there's a little bit of water creeping up on me. So um I feel like when
I
that
had it
shit,
so bad coming off my show that it was hard to meal prep. I would have to
you
like
couldn't stand in
lean
your
over.
kitchen.
Yeah, I'd have to like lean over onto the counter.
Yeah, dude. Do you have a solution for it?
Taurine helps a little
Taurine.
bit.
Yeah, taurine, dude. I've been dosing the shit out of taurine. I've been
Yeah,
taking like I took like 5 grams this morning.
that's how much I do.
Yeah, and then I took like another 3. I think I got another 3 in here. Um, I think I need to get my body used to like higher amounts of electrolytes and like minerals and stuff like that, because like there's like a period, like when you increase sodium, like you're gonna hold water for a day or two until your
Mhm.
body like adjusts that sodium, or those electrolytes, like and other minerals as well. Like there's gonna be your body has to kind of get into homeostasis with that. I mean, that's another thing. Like with the off-season cheat meal, it's like you have a really consistent level of sodium, and then you go eat like some kind of like sodium bomb. The next day, you're
Good
like, oh,
point.
my fucking back. I have legs
Yeah,
today, or like doing deadlifts, or like I'm doing some bent over stuff. Like,
workouts killed at that point.
hmm I mean, there's one thing I can do, which is like I'll lay down and I'll like cross one leg over this leg and then my other leg over that leg, and
Hmm.
open my hips up that way, which really helps. But yeah, it's crippling. Like you almost have to just sit there and let it like flush out, whatever it
Yeah,
is.
it's the weirdest feeling too. It's not like a
Yeah,
normal feeling.
it's just like your hips and your glutes and everything is all pumped up. And it kind of is, because it's like you're walking and like you're using your hips and stuff like that, and those
Yeah,
muscles in there. I think it just is a pump, and it's just lactic acid buildup in that area.
100%.
I don't know how taurine is supposed to really flush that out. But it does. Taurine does have something to do with like your water and mineral balance and your ability to hold on to minerals. So maybe it helps just regulate your balance of minerals better.
I think it must, because like taurine, I'll use that like if I get like cramps from like clench
Yeah, the clamp.
usage,
Yeah.
and then for the low back pumps too, and it helps both. So it has to be something with mineral
Mhm.
regulation, I would imagine.
Yeah. Dude, it's so crazy, like cramps and stuff like that. Like, did you ever get any cramps post show at all?
No,
Like
really
like
haven't. It's
getting
always leading
like
up to a show.
leading up to a show. For
Yeah.
me, like I've been getting like not cramps, but like if I'm like more watery, or like uh I might feel like more of a cramp. I could pull a cramp, or like get a toe cramp or a foot cramp, like. And
No,
I
I get
have
like an ab cramp like almost weekly. I'll have at
or an
least
ab
one
cramp. I
ab.
almost got an ab cramp today.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, I have clients that like I observe this in, like the ones who are like need to lose more weight and have more water on their body, like they'll cramp, or if I know like they're not on the diet, like they'll
Hmm.
cramp more, but that could just be as simple as that their mineral balance is off. They might not be hydrated, it could
Hmm.
be a million things, but then I don't notice that with other clients who are like they're not good at eating the meals, like they just don't eat enough, like,
Okay.
so they're probably not getting like excessive amounts of sodium, like, or,
Yeah.
they just maybe eat like a bird, and like they're not pushing the food, but like someone who is out at a restaurant every weekend or like something like that, like, you know, I don't know. I try to observe these things. So, I don't know. I've noticed it a little bit,
with
but
yourself?
yeah, I think it's my body just getting back to like some type of homeostasis. So,
Post show,
uh,
electrolytes are always kind of going to be out of whack for a while.
yeah, I mean, like you said last week, like your glucose was like what 200, and then
Three
like
something.
holy fuck, dude. Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
hydration.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's after like what? How many Diazide? Did you take any Diazide for that show?
We did. I don't know if we did a half or a quarter the night
Uh-huh.
before,
Was
but
that
it was
it?
kind of exacerbated because we stopped eating like at 8 o'clock and stopped fluid. So I didn't go to bed till like 12,
Uh-huh.
and then throw like a half a Diazide on top of that. So I was used to like 6 meals, and then let's say like 7 liters of water. And then the day before the show, we did 4 meals and like 5 liters, and then we throw half a Diazide on top of it. So I was just kind of like, I don't know, I was all out of whack.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna set this light up real quick. Let me grab my let me grab let me just turn this light on one sec.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess it's just probably the body getting back to some type of homeostasis.
For sure.
So yeah. I mean, another thing I wanted to cover today is meal prep a little bit. Well, actually, hobbies and stuff too. I guess we could touch on hobbies and stuff. Do you have anything that you get into outside of bodybuilding? Like
Now,
me either, bro.
which is
Like
dangerous, you know?
yeah, yeah. I'm not saying I don't like, but like my first choice is like usually something to progress like the fitness a bit,
Hmm.
So I mean, like I'll go swimming and like, but like the thing is with bodybuilding, it's like okay, I know when my next meal is, I know when my workout is, like I know when I got to get to bed, like
Yeah. It's
there's
a
a constant.
24/7 sport. So, I mean, it's hard to
Mhm.
have like a hobby where you can go, I don't know, like
Turn it
surfing for
off.
5 hours, because you're going to be missing
Yeah.
meals. You're going to be tired from that. You're probably going to
Hmm.
be low on water. It's going to screw up your workout for the next day. So it's tough to like have real
Yeah, it's like
hobbies.
you have to live very like like the same like Groundhog Day, like, and that
Yeah.
just means like living kind of the same routine day in and day out because of because you want to have that predictability. Like you want to maintain homeostasis. Like I don't want to go in the gym tomorrow and wonder why I'm cramping. It's like, well,
Hmm.
you surfed for 5 hours yesterday. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right. Like,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, uh,
Was it worth it?
maybe, or you pull you tear something in your chest. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, I don't know, you get really in touch with that. I grew up playing golf and stuff like that, which is fun. And it can be pretty low maintenance. I
Hmm.
mean, you are out there on a golf course. You are like it's like getting outside, like into the sun. Like you can go outside and bodybuild, but like um, sometimes it would jack up like with my arm, like some tendonitis. I could get something
Okay.
going on in there, and then like I'd rather not like mess up my next workout. Like
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, what's tomorrow? What's tomorrow's chest? Like I can't play golf today, man. Like
Yeah.
I need to be fresh for that.
We play like some miniature golf.
Yeah, I mean, other people like play like video games.
Yeah, I used to be a big video game player when I was
What
younger,
did
but
you
I
play?
just all kinds of stuff. Like when Halo first came out, I was really big into Halo. Far Cry.
Mhm.
There was a game. It was like well, I forget what the thing. It's like massive multiplayer online. One of those things. It was called
Uh-huh.
Anarchy Online.
Oh,
I would play
okay.
that for like 12 hours, like literally from the time I woke up to the time I would go to bed. And my
Yeah,
dad
I
actually
bought
gave
an.
me his Xbox, so I have it at home, but I
Yeah,
haven't hooked it up to play it or anything.
No.
No, I think
Who
about
gave
it
you it?
sometimes. My dad, he still plays video games.
I thought, like, I bought an Xbox, like, going into my prep. I'm like, I'll be at home, just consistent, like,
Yeah,
just play Xbox. Bro, I can't even focus on the game. Like, like
yeah.
I was playing it for a bit. I was playing Call of Duty. I can go play it right now. I have an Xbox. Um, but dude, I'm so bad at it. Not I'm pretty good when I play, but like, and I can if I get into it, I can start playing pretty good. But I thought I would be playing like, oh, 3 weeks out, I'll be just chilling at home, like,
Yeah.
finishing my meals for the day and finishing it off with like a game of NHL hockey or like Call of Duty or like, whatever game. And not that like I didn't have like I was just too tired at the end of the day, but
Hmm.
like it takes a mental focus to be able to sit and play a game.
Oh yeah.
Like at 14 weeks out, I had it, but by the time I was like 8 weeks out, I didn't have it. Um, but maybe that's also just because of where I'm at, like in my life and like my age and stuff. Like
Could
when you're
be.
like a 16-year-old kid, like yeah, you can spend 12 hours on a video game all day.
Yeah.
It's just like I know I have other shit to do. Like I'm not gonna stay up till 4 trying to like beat this level. Like
No. Yeah.
yeah. So maybe it's just that.
It could be.
But then I also think about this, like, bro, I haven't like. Do you ever watch any TV shows?
Now I'll watch, like, I literally have a podcast on here. Like, I'll either watch podcasts. I'll probably watch maybe one movie a week, one or two
Uh-huh.
movies a week. But other than that, it's just podcasts.
I did go see Indiana Jones. It was pretty good.
Was it really?
Yeah, and then I saw some trailers for I've seen two trailers that look pretty good. There's like a Leonardo DiCaprio movie coming out in October. It's about
Is
like
that the
Native.
one with De Niro?
Yeah,
It's like something Indian based, right? It's
yeah,
like
it's like
something.
Native Americans, like
Yeah.
Indians. Yeah, and then that looks pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio movies are going to be pretty good. Like, I'm not really taking a shot in the dark probably by going to see that.
I think Scorsese directs it too, which is going to be good.
That's cool. And then there's another one I saw a trailer for. It's like Owen Wilson is he's one of the actors in it, and it's like I think it's Haunted Mansion. Comes out end
Really?
of this month. Yeah,
Okay.
I
I'll
think it's a
have to check it
remake.
out.
But Owen Wilson's like the same character in every fucking movie.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like I know what I'm gonna get.
The Wedding Crashers character.
Yeah, but like, dude, like a year or two ago, I was I mean, I've seen all of The Walking Dead. I watched all of Ozarks. I watched all of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I watched the show Prison Break. I mean, there might be 3 or 4, maybe 5 more other shows that I've watched before that I was into. But I haven't gotten into a show in like a minute.
Did you watch Sons of Anarchy?
No, but I heard that's really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but I was been
Mhm.
interested in it. But
Yeah,
see,
if
I get
anybody
like,
has a show, comment below. Like, what's like? I mean, I hear like that show Yellowstone's really good, but it's like I don't really know when I'm gonna get into that because it's like I would
series
pick
are
to
kind of
listen
tough
to a
for me.
podcast.
Like,
Yeah,
because you're like, let's say the series has like something like Breaking Bad or Ozarks. What is it, like 50 episodes, like, at least? Like, that's a commitment. Like, you have to, always watch the next one, where sometimes you're like, I just want to put some bullshit on that I don't have to focus on. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just kind of like background noise.
okay, yeah. Well, see, I was like in a relationship at the time too, so it was easy to like have like a date night. We watch like 3 episodes of this
Okay.
thing and then go
Yeah.
to bed. So like, but also like I don't know. I think my mindset was also a little bit different too because I was like it was just a different time period to where like I'm really I don't know. I guess like I'll jump into the relationships like topic like on this episode because like a hobby could be something you like share with your girl or like
Yeah.
you so that was something like watching a TV show like pretty just easy thing to do like um I mean, it's easy to like go out to eat, if you can, like just
Yeah.
go out to a restaurant or whatever. which is like an easy date, you know. I mean, there's other things like you can go do axe throwing or like top golf or like
Mhm.
what do you call it?
Escape room.
Yeah, escape room. You ever done one of those?
No, my girlfriend wants to
Dude,
do one now.
dude, I'm telling you, they're pretty fun.
Are they really?
I did one with one of my ex-girlfriends. We had a lot of fun doing that shit. I remember it being fun. Like you just try to figure it out, and then you have to beat the time. So it's like they give you an hour or
Okay.
whatever it is. This one was in Orlando. It was on iDrive, so it was cool to like be out there anyways, and like because there's other shit to do. You
Yeah.
know? But like they have escape rooms like randomly in like the shopping center of like next to TJ Maxx.
Oh,
Like
I see them everywhere.
I know it's like everybody wants to set that up and think it's going to be like a profitable business. Like I think it's probably good in a tourist area.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in Orlando, next time you're in Orlando, go do one.
I think there's two in Brandon that I've driven by. At least two.
I know there's one by this by across from like the Krispy Kreme and the 60
near that. What's that Mexican place? Tres Amigos, right by there.
I think so. It's by PDQ kind of.
Yeah.
And it's like there's like a mattress store or something like next to it.
There's like an Outback
yeah,
like a place over there
too. A random spot. Like I mean,
yeah.
But I guess but Brandon's kind of like that. Like, you know.
Yeah.
It just kind of has things like just businesses like just slapped around a little bit. Like
yeah. There's a pet store over there and just kind of some other random stuff.
Yeah. I don't mind it though. Where are you in Riverview?
Riverview, yeah. We usually go like if we're going out to eat though, we usually go to Brandon a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Riverview's a little bit more organized. I don't know. It's kind of the same. Like
yeah, kind of.
But certain spots of Brandon, like so like by like Top Golf.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have like the Five Guys. Oh, they put a Five Guys in there. You have Culver's. You have Texas Roadhouse. You have Bubba's 33 or whatever. Their burgers, not very good, man.
Really?
Nothing to be impressed about. Their chicken wings are really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I had them around like Christmas time. Like me and my ex, we went out there and it was good. Like their chicken wings were really good, but I thought their burgers were going to be like amazing.
Just average, or just not even that?
When you have a cheat meal and it's like supposed to be, you think it's going to be good, and it's like,
oh yeah,
that good. Like
most of the time, your cheat meals do not live up to your expectations.
Yeah,
at least for me.
I mean, the thing is with Five Guys, it's pretty consistent. Like you know what you're going to get. You know.
Yeah.
Certain places, like you know what you're going to get, and it's going to be pretty good. Like you need to eat there again, but no, their burger was nothing really too special.
Interesting.
Yeah. But that's a like I don't know. So what do you and your girl do? Like you mostly just go out to eat for a date or something like that, or?
Yeah, Sunday we usually spend Sunday together for the most part. Just because that's like
what's your work schedule like? Is that the day you guys actually get to like spend together, kind of?
Yeah, Monday through Friday. Like I work like 8 to 4. She works 12 to 8. And then Saturday I work out. She might do something with one of her friends. So Sunday I don't have to work out, and she's really not doing anything. So we'll like spend the day together. Like last Sunday we'll like go to the pool in the morning. Then we'll like maybe watch some TV or a movie during the day, and then we'll go out to eat like at night.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of it is like like with relationships and stuff. Like it's a lot. It's like it's almost about how minimal of shit you can kind of do together and still get along. Because not to say like you should not ever take your girl out or anything like that, but it's like if you can sit in silence and just both be kind of hanging out in your zone and perfectly happy, like that's a great place to be, you know?
Yeah, like I mean stuff like she'll want to go to like the beach a lot. And the way I look at it, like it's let's say it's like an hour and a half drive. So an hour and a half drive up, hour and a half drive back. I gotta prep meals the whole time. Then I'm going to be like
at least 2 or 3 meals. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of work that goes into it. It seems like, oh, let's just go to the beach and, super low stress, but it ends up being like a lot of work.
You got to find a microwave, or you got to get a cooler.
You got to bring all of my water. If I need to go to the bathroom where,
Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you what, if I have to pee and I don't go pee, Like, I don't think this. I don't know. I hope this isn't like a prostate thing. I don't have to pee. Like, it's hard to pee, but
Yeah.
if I don't go pee when I'm like my bladder, I can tell it's full.
Yeah.
I'll start like I think I have too much food, like or like fluid in this area to where it starts pushing up like
Really
burps. Yeah, I've noticed that.
interesting. Yeah, I don't think that's a prostate thing.
No, I don't think it's a prostate thing. I don't know. Everybody start holding your pee and just see if you get any like acid, and then report back to me.
Yeah.
No, but
Comment
like,
below.
yeah, I don't know. I think I'll notice that sometimes. But that was like today because going back to the fats, like I had like 25 grams of almond butter in my oats this morning, and maybe it's the particular almond butter I have, but I think I might try to like push all my fats. Either I do smaller amounts and just divide them up through my meals. But it's like I don't. If I could have 20 grams of almond butter or 10 grams of almond butter twice, I'd almost rather have it 20 grams at once.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Because it's
Otherwise, it's
just
like,
more enjoyable eating like
yeah,
like a good amount versus like
a
you know
teaspoon.
yeah, I'm like trying to measure out 10 grams. Um, but yeah, like I mean, so I think it also is good to like do like a date night or do something spontaneous or do something nice every once in a while. That's one thing I do like about Florida is that you can do like a staycation in Florida. Like you could find a cool Airbnb and there's like cool like nooks and crannies of Florida that like, you can go away for a weekend, if it lines up and it works out.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, bro, like I'm like, and I think bodybuilders are like real creatures of habit. Like we like our like routines
Yeah.
and things like that. So um like if I'm going to like do let's say I'm going to do a staycation for 2-3 days.
Hmm.
I could take 2-3 days and go do like or 2-3 days. I would probably write them off as rest days.
Yeah.
But if I can go do 2-3 days like somewhere or even like let's just call it a short trip like 2-3 days, like it's no big deal that you miss the gym for 2-3 days, like yeah, it's not really that big of a deal. But like I would like to just pick up my lifestyle. I would bring my meals. We would go out to eat and have one or two meals to go to
Yeah.
have breakfast or something like that. But I want to find a cool gym, and I want to get a workout in.
Yeah.
Does your girl ever work out with you at all?
We went to the gym a few times together.
Uh-huh.
Um, right now, she's kind of really into swimming, so she'll swim for a
Yeah.
workout. And I
Okay.
don't swim that well.
Yeah, dude. I almost drowned last summer. It's another story.
You can't tread water if you're a bodybuilder. I'm
Dude,
convinced.
we tried to swim. Like my little brother, my dad, and my two cousins. Like we're like, They were like, let's. My little brother's like, let's swim out to this island. It's pretty far. It would be like swimming from like one end of the Advanced Fit parking lot, maybe to the other.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's a
this
good
for
ways.
for people who don't know like how far that is, I would say it's like two football fields.
Yeah, I was gonna say about 200 yards, probably.
Probably at 200 yards, right? It's pretty far. I get like halfway out there, dude. So I swim like a football field. And like my little brother, he's 100 and whatever, 20, 130, 125, 150. I don't know how much he weighs. But he's light, And then my dad like is like he's like 170. I was like 180, 190 at this time.
Uh-huh.
My dad's not like a skinny bitch, but like
Yeah,
but he doesn't have like fucking full round muscle like me,
different body
like
composition.
yeah, he's and then my cousins are like, they're probably 20% body fat, like just your average people, like, and
Yeah,
but they're doing fine. They're like way ahead of me. And I'm
yeah,
like, I get halfway there and I'm like, I gotta get all the way there. And then I have to swim all the way back. Like, I'm gonna be so
yeah,
fucking tired. Like, this ain't gonna do. I'm turning around. I start turning around, I start treading the water, and then I'm like trying to fucking swim, and it's like my muscles just giving out. Like it's almost like trying to do tricep push downs, and you can't do another fucking tricep push down or
yeah,
even a partial. Not to where I was like locking up and like having cramps or anything like that, but I wasn't making it, dude, and I had to like shout for help. And this guy came over like on a tube, and I like hang on to the tube, I'm like,
yeah,
and then he paddles it out, to the beach or whatever. This isn't a lake. So there were like some little not waves, but like the water's moving up and down a
Wake.
little
Yeah.
bit, a little bit of a wake, you know. And I have like a headache, and I'm like trying to catch my breath, laying on the ground, like just like gasping for air, and like finally like stabilizing, like get in the car, and like I have this headache, and I'm oxygen deprived, dude. And then like
Yeah.
I was feeling it, dude. It was scary, bro, because I mean, I'm glad I like fucking wasn't, too prideful not to like shout for help. But I'm like,
Absolutely.
you know, fuck
You could
drowning,
like
dude.
drown. You know what I mean? Like seriously.
Yeah, and I think they still winded up making it, and then they swam back too. Like,
Okay.
or maybe they turned around when I don't know when because they saw that I was like not making it. My little brother was freaked out too because he felt all bad about like he convinced me to like try and swim out there. I thought I could too. We
Yeah.
had been to this lake before, and I remember the time before, like
I was just gonna say,
it
probably like the
being too
last time you
much.
did it, you were smaller and it was like no big deal.
Well, I'd never done it before, so I was like, let's do it this time. Like I can do it this
Okay.
time. Like, and it was I'll never do it again. I'm good.
Yeah, that's dangerous, dude.
Yeah, but like that. Okay, so like that's the other thing. Like it's like I either like every relationship I've been in, like the girl works out, or like okay, so like the girl I dated like in college, like I introduced her to fitness and stuff like that, and she did really well, got in good shape, and like it was good for her. Um, you know, we didn't last because I'm not with her anymore, but like pretty much every girl I've dated, has been into fitness in some way since then.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't think it's a requirement. I think like what matters is that like they res- understand like what your lifestyle is, and you know, I don't know, like it would be hard as a bodybuilder. It'd be hard to date a chick that like wants to go out and party every single weekend, or like I don't know. But like where I'm at right now is like I would rather fucking uh I'd rather just be on my own than like not I don't know, I guess this is not really the best term, but like I would say like impose my lifestyle on somebody, but I don't feel like I'm
That's a good way
imposing.
to word it to a certain degree.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to say I'm imposing because I'm gonna do this regardless. It's just like, like I like, I'm not changing my lifestyle in any way to like
Hmm.
to accommodate really. And it's like not because it's like selfish, but it's just like I'm more focused on this. And like the same thing we kind of talked about last week. I think when you're aligned with like your path and what you want to do and what makes you happy, like, you're gonna line yourself up with the people that, are for you, I guess you could say, or
Yeah,
maybe in your same kind of lane.
I agree
So
100%.
yeah. Because there's also like, you know, um, like I mean, there's also like there's some people get lonely, like to where like they need to be have somebody, but like I don't know. I've always felt like I've done pretty well, like on my own,
Hmm.
like being your own best friend, which
Yeah.
I think like some like you should probably be to begin with before you're good to be in a relationship with somebody because
Hmm.
you know um I don't know. I think if you're like looking for something to like fulfill you, like, well, you're not necessarily giving in that way because you're looking to be for someone to like bring something into your life that you're not already, capable of creating for yourself. So,
And this sport's
yeah.
like hard enough when everything is going right. It's hard enough. So if you're like in a relationship where you're constantly either defending it or not in the best circumstance to succeed, like there's some other guy who's living by himself in an apartment,
Head to the grindstone, just
yeah,
fucking
that's
getting
killing it
there.
every day, doesn't give
Mhm.
a fuck about anybody,
Does your
and he's
does your
gonna
girl
like,
help you with like your meal prep at all or anything
if
like
I
that?
asked her to, she would. if I
Yeah.
had to, yeah.
But you
But
mostly got it yourself.
yeah.
Hmm.
But I mean, you're always up against that guy who doesn't give a fuck who's with him, and he's gonna, he's gonna be there on stage, and he doesn't have the obstacles that you might have. So
It's the trend, dude.
yeah,
200 milligrams year round. I'm just kidding. No,
it
but
definitely makes things worse, though.
well, what trend?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's,
For a
now that I'm
relationship?
thinking about it, I think it's just being in a deficit.
I think it's probably being in the deficit that yeah.
Because if I'm on trend and if I was taking trend for a couple weeks, just like small doses, I felt fine. My personality wasn't any different. But
Hmm.
if I was dieting, my personality would be different with or without the trend.
Yeah, I think I agree with that too because I think you could look at it like this: like if you were studying for like the bar or like an MCAT exam, like
Hmm.
you're probably studying for 8 weeks, or you're probably studying for 12 weeks. You're probably studying for like a 16-week period, like as long as a prep would
Yeah.
be, you know, you're doing something that's very, and like when you're dieting, you're in a starvation, you're starving off fat, like for 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 10 to, 15 weeks, like whatever. So like, I think when you're like at an extreme, like you're holding like fat loss is an extreme, like, it's like, cause you're redlining, you're hitting that red, yellow, orange line
Hmm.
like all the time to burn off fat. Um, if you're studying for like an MCAT or a bar exam or like, for whatever, like that's a very tough exam. Like, you're cranking, like you're studying hard. You're at it's an extreme to pass something like that and to succeed. So I don't want to necessarily say it's a trend that would be the thing. I know it does have some things to do with like your neurology, and they affect people's neurology. I mean, like some people take Tren in the off season and they're like horny as shit. Like they want to fuck everything,
Yeah.
you know?
My sex drive doesn't change with it.
Uh huh. I think it's I don't know. Like I think if you can't handle like if you don't have a handle over your sex drive to begin with, then I think that it can be something that you're off to the fucking races trying to meet
Yeah.
every single girl, like, just because you feel this surge of energy. But like, like people say, well, not people, but like with Tren, there is like the neurological effect to where like you take it pre-workout, like your workout's going to be better. Like if you know how to apply it, like,
Hmm.
it's like taking an Anadrol before the gym. It's like, I'm not going to take an Anadrol and sit on the couch and like, like
Yeah.
I'm going to take an Anadrol and go to the gym. Like, it's like, if you're taking the trend to like to build muscle or to like partition nutrients or for a purpose, I don't think you're thinking about chicks at that point. Like, whether you're an off season or
I
a
agree.
conscious prep, like I think if you're someone who like takes like trend and all of a sudden like you can't control your sex drive, like I think your priorities might be out of order. Like, but some people like do take gear to like look better at, they're more like it's more of a lifestyle, like,
Yeah.
so I mean, to each his own, I guess, on that.
Yeah. Probably like you said, the intent of why you're taking it. Are you taking it to, look more attractive to girls, or are you taking it to advance your bodybuilding career? Probably affect how you
Yeah.
feel on it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like with dieting, I don't know that it's the trend because I always ran trend like in diets, like
I have too.
you know. I think my next one though, I'm only gonna run 150. What do you think? What
Yeah,
do you
I'm
think?
thinking the first show I ever did was natural,
Hmm.
obviously on no trend, and I still had the same
Did you still get a little
emotions.
irritable and like
Yeah,
cold?
yeah,
So
emotionless.
yeah,
Everything was the same.
but the thing is, like, it's because you don't have the energy to give energy, like you don't have the calories to like
Yeah,
necessarily spend.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, have you ever like if you're like really deep in a diet and you say something to somebody and they say what or like what did you say?
You
I'm
have to
like I don't
repeat
know.
it.
I'm not gonna fucking say it again. Like I
Yeah,
get
you just are
you'll get
so
upset.
fucking. Well, dude, like there's like when I would be at Advanced Fit, like I'd be doing cardio like in the morning, like every
Yeah.
fucking morning. Like, yeah, of course I am. Like someone would come in like, oh, cardio this morning, like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And they come in the next morning, oh, look, doing cardio again. Like, what the fuck do you think I'm doing? Dude? Like,
Yeah.
I'm about to rip your fucking head off. But I don't think
Little
it's a
things like
trend.
that can send you in a rage.
Yeah, like I don't know, roid rage. I don't. Okay, but then there's also like the bodybuilders. Okay, like who's that one guy who like, like there's like been a few stories of like roid rage, or
Craig
they call
Titus.
it. Yeah, Craig Titus.
Yeah.
I don't know if that he was on drugs too though. Like
Yeah. He
right.
was like really big into recreational drugs too.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean,
Well, what was it? Bertle Fox. I I think he I think he murdered either his girlfriend and her mother or something like that. But I know he killed somebody. He killed somebody, either his girlfriend or the girlfriend's mother or something. I think he just
uh-huh.
recently got out of jail too.
What was
But
that Netflix documentary, The Killer Sally?
oh yeah, that was pretty good. It was
Who was that?
she. It was a female bodybuilder. She killed her husband, who was also a bodybuilder, and they were like
What was he
discussing.
like? Was he like domestic abuse? Like,
That's what they were
uh,
alleging. Yeah.
uh-huh.
But you had like different witnesses from like different sides alleging different things, so it's hard to tell kind of what the real story was.
Yeah,
But
so
it was
she
really
shot
good,
her husband.
and
Who
he was a
is
pro.
yeah, who is he supposed to be? Well, Sally McNeil. Who is her
Ray McNeil, I think.
was it Ray?
Yeah, he beat Paul Dillette at the North Americans. I
Oh,
forget what
okay.
year.
Yeah, 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 that's right. Um, I don't know, dude.
But there really aren't like, I mean, for as much like mainstream hype as like Roid Rage gets, like
Mhm.
you only have like a handful of examples of either bodybuilders or I mean, you get like domestic abuse in like sports, like NFL
You
and
get
stuff like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. So I
I don't
mean,
necessarily think that's a word rage.
right, or you just get it because someone drank alcohol, like like
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So just don't date a bodybuilder if you're like the type of chick to like be out every weekend and you're gonna like, oh, why are you getting up to do cardio again? He's 4 weeks out. He'll murder you.
Yeah.
that's, that's the only, I don't know, man. I honestly I think if like a woman is just your piece at the end of the day, like it's really all we fucking need. Like we don't really need
Yeah.
like much. It is nice to come home and like your house is clean and like oh like you can actually settle down after a day versus like oh shit I got all these dishes to do like I need to get to
Yeah.
bed like I gotta it is nice I don't need anybody to prep my meals or anything. I have all the I kind of like to prep my meals.
I do too.
I mean it is nice if your laundry gets done though. It's like oh my laundry's done like this is all
Yeah.
folded, it smells awesome like that's nice.
When I was single, when I do my laundry, I would just keep it in the same bin and I would just like grab
Just
stuff
fold
out of
clothes.
it.
I
Yeah.
have that going on right now. I haven't put
I
the
never
laundry away
folded
yet.
anything. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
I'm
was
just going
just
to wear it. It's just a t shirt and sweatpants anyway. Like, I
yeah.
don't need to hang it up.
If it's gym clothes, yeah. I mean, it does feel good though. I'll tell you what. Like when your house is all put together, and it's like, because it's like everything's put together. Like, it is like a good like. It's like okay. It would be like your logbook. It's like i- if it's nice and neat, like and you can look back on the week before because like the
Hmm.
gym is a place of peace it's like I mean we're going to like extremes and intensities that are like untouched but that's like a peaceful place like when you hit that spot like to
Hmm.
where it's and or like you get in the gym at you sometimes get in the gym pretty late night and like it's you in there it's you in the weights like that's a
Yeah.
nice even when there's people in there bro like I get like a not a vignette but like a uh like my background is like my peripherals are blurred. Like not like
Yeah.
I'm tunnel vision, like I'm locked in like a sniper or anything like that. But like my peripherals are blurred because I'm just in my own world, and I love it. Like two, 3 sets in, I'm flying, dude.
Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
like an escape. I mean, like, I don't know about you, but
Mhm.
I'm pretty anxious throughout the day, just thinking about different things. But when
Mhm.
you're like in like a heavy or hard set, you're not thinking about anything else but just
Yeah.
moving the weight. You know what I mean? It's like an escape
Mhm.
from everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice, man. Um, I agree, bro. I mean, there was times like in my last off season, I would work at Crunch, and I can go work out. I would be able to like just go work out in the gym after. And this is when I had gotten back into training at Advanced Fit. This was like July. This was like a year ago. I would get in there. It'd be about what this time? What's it like? Almost midnight, probably like 11. Because sometimes Crunch would close at 11. Say it was like a Tuesday
Hmm.
night or whatever. I would get in there and then like get my work in. And, you know, I I don't know, man. That's like another thing like that some people like. I think most people would enjoy that. Like I think most people like alone time and
I agree.
yeah, and I think with I mean, I guess tying it back into relationships, like I think um that's important to have. Like that's also why like you should probably be a whole person by the before you're ready for a relationship. Um but I think everybody likes alone time to some degree. Like whether it's like coloring in a coloring book or like, like going to the gym or like going for a swim or like,
Yeah,
doing something for themselves. I think that's a good thing to do. Um I don't know. I'm trying. I almost want to think like bodybuilding's like the like when you do it as like a consistent thing though. Like you do spend a lot of time like in there to where like even if you're anxious throughout the day, like you're able to work a lot of things out just like right in
oh
there.
yeah,
You know. Um. I don't know. I feel fucking awesome after a
I
workout
wonder
usually.
like how much more anxious I would be if I didn't have that outlet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. I don't know. I took 3 days off this week. But dude, like from the time I started lifting to like now, I've never really taken like a full entire week off. Like even during COVID, like I still
Yeah,
did some kind of something. So,
I
dude,
don't
I
know
hope
the
I
last
never
time I
have
did.
to. I want to work out to the day I die. Like until I'm like
Yeah,
90. I think it's important. I think just being able to move is important.
absolutely.
I think if you don't move it, you lose it. It's like you know So, I don't know. Do you ever have days that you get into the gym, you're like, "Fuck, dude, I'm dragging ass." Like before you get into the workout, like, do you ever have any like type of ritual to like get yourself like psyched up for a workout, or is it just like, all right, I took a scoop of pre workout, let me get a set or
Yeah,
two, and like, we'll be
it's
good.
usually kind of like going through the warm ups. Yeah, I mean, that kind of sets my mind right. Like once you
Hmm.
start warming up, you know what the intent is, whether it's to work up to a certain weight or to reach a certain pump. But once you start
Hmm.
that process, no matter if I don't want to be there, if I'm tired, it like my mindset just changes like after like the second
Hmm.
or third warm up set
That's the
because
thing. Like
you're in it at that point.
yeah, like I had worked like all day, like at Crunch, right? And I'm like in this fucking loud gym, like, I'm like, I just ate and it's like now time to go to the gym. And it's like I can also just go home and go to bed and start tomorrow.
Yeah,
And but I know after I've been doing this long enough that like once I get in there, once I do a set or two, like it's gonna like do it. It's just the momentum, and it'll be over. You'll be done in an hour,
yeah,
and you're gonna enjoy it. Like there's gonna be a certain point where like this is fucking great. Like you get into that one set, you're like, all right, that felt
worth it
great.
all. Yeah,
Yeah. So um, I think you have to learn that yourself, though. And it's almost like if you were to say it's like a coloring book, like I'm sure a coloring book also like probably can get to the same type of like enjoyment, or like reading. Do you ever read books?
Not anymore. Not recently.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like some of those things that like starting is the hardest thing, and then once you're in it, like it'll kind of carry itself. Like there's like a
Yeah.
saying, like the mind goes where the body, or the body goes where the mind goes where the and if the mind goes there, the body will follow. I'm fucking this
So
up.
yeah, no, I think I was right. That last one was right. Where
Yeah,
the
something
mind
like
goes, the
that.
body will follow.
Yeah, and then there's another one like move a muscle, change a thought. Like if you're
Yeah.
like inside your head, like you just start moving, like you're gonna change some things. But
Sometimes you ever
um
like just sit on the couch, like deep in prep, and you just don't
it's
want to
not
get up.
ready to move yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just sit there on the like you'll be sitting back on the couch and you'll like okay, you'll lean forward like you're gonna get up and you
Time
just
to
kind of
go.
sit here and sit here, and then
Yeah.
finally once you get up, it's not as bad as you thought it would be. You know what I mean? But you just
Hmm.
had to initiate that movement.
Yeah. Another thing with warming up. I mean, for someone who like is like needs to get their ass in the gym and doesn't have like is still stuck on the couch, like next thing you need to do is just put your shoes on, like put a good workout outfit on, like
Yeah,
uh, you know, um, because it could be easy to like overthink it, get analysis paralysis. Like just go do one set. Like
yeah.
you know, I don't know, leg days were sort of like that for me, like because the whole thing's gonna be hard, or you think that the whole entire thing's gonna be
Oh
hard,
yeah,
you know, but it's usually not. But like if you go do one set, you know, if you're starting at fucking ground zero, if you get one set in this week, you've made progress, and you get two sets in next week, and you get three or sets in the week after, four, like, you know, and then you kind of meet your like volume goal, like how much volume you should actually be doing. By the time like you're like, I mean, after that first set, you're probably gonna want to do a second set in that same time.
yeah.
But you could really start small with this.
I was
Um,
listening to a podcast today. It was Milo Sarshev and Chris Tuttle. They have a
y-
podcast, and
oh,
they
is
were
it
talking
the
about
IFBB AMA or whatever?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
and
Yeah,
Chris was talking about like people that like just can't get into the gym, like they want to, but they just can never get in. He was saying just go and do something you like. Like, don't worry about the perfect split or training legs. He said, just go if you like training arms, just go in the gym and train arms.
yeah.
Just to initially get in the gym, and you can progress from there. But
Hmm.
don't like you said, paralysis by analysis. Like, don't formulate this perfect split and perfect diet. He said, just go and train whatever you want, and then try to eat clean after that for the day, and then you can
Yeah,
worry about the details later.
yeah. I was actually making a video earlier this week. Like, I think I talked about this in the last episode about how like I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but like when I first started working out, like I remember scrolling through Instagram and Facebook, and like I mean when you're scrolling through like Instagram or Facebook and just like mindlessly like scrolling and stuff, like you're thinking of things, like, or you're just like mindlessly not thinking of things, but I think you're always subconsciously thinking of things,
Hmm.
and we're like maybe subconsciously comparing ourselves in some way. And like nowadays on like social media, it's like every single other post like is like a fitness post, or someone's like jacked and shredded, and like
Yeah,
it's like out of this fucking world reach. Like the barrier for entry seems so high, and then like this meal prep, and then these supplements, and then this and then that. Like when when I first started getting into working out, like there wasn't every other post was a fitness post or a recipe or like a supplement or like carnivore diet. There weren't these fad diets really just yet, but there were like I would see like I think I saw like a Cage Muscle ad on Facebook, and like it was I think I saw like Chris Gethin. I don't know who it was. I think it was that. I think it was Cage Muscle, and I remember thinking like, damn, like this dude's fucking jacked. Like
yeah,
I'll never look like that, like. And but like it was every once in a while that I I would see these posts, and I said like I like if something like if I don't understand something, my first reaction to it is to like reject it, be like, oh, that's dumb, it's stupid, like it's negative, like be negative about it, and that's a survival mechanism. That's like a protect like the ego, like type shit. And the what I eventually did was like, all right, every time I see a fitness post, I'm gonna do 30 push-ups or 20 push-ups or like 30 sit-ups or something. So I started doing that, and that's how I got into like working out. And
That's
then
cool.
and then I signed up for like a strength and conditioning class in my senior year of high school, and then a CrossFit class. I did CrossFit the first semester, and then I did strength and conditioning the second semester. And this is where I think I got this,
Oh shit, CrossFit.
this little one of them, dude. Because they would just make everybody
Max out.
yeah, just go max out.
Yeah.
Oh, who is a Sicilian cannoli and espresso?
Sean.
Oh, that's Sean.
Yeah, he just did Atlantic States 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, where is he at?
Jersey, I think.
Oh, okay. I was born there actually.
That's cool.
Yeah, where were you born, bro?
Baltimore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. But that's how I got into it. And then like I like met this dude who like put me on to like I didn't know like to break up body parts. I just went in the gym and fucked around, like
Yeah.
And then my buddy who I met was like, no, bro, you need to break it up into like shoulders, shoulder day, a back day, a chest day, like a bro split,
Yeah.
Like, okay. And then he's like, you also need to bulk. And like, but he didn't like overwhelm me with information, but he gave me like little tips. And he's like, go listen to Rich Piana, go listen to like Jerry Ward, go listen to like Mark Lobliner, go listen to the Hodge twins, go listen to Chris Jones, like go listen to like CT Fletcher, like whoever was on YouTube at that time.
Louis Marco.
Louis Marco, dude, he blocked me on Instagram.
Oh no, for what?
I don't know why. I'm just blocked by him.
Did you comment on one of his posts?
Yeah, because he
That's
always
so funny.
say like shit like he's like the chest gains are loyal, baby, please. Like
yeah.
Say some, and I just think I commented that on his photo once, and I think he blocked me for that.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, I know someone who's blocked by Mike O'Hearn for some reason. I think this chick I know is like blocked by.
I'm blocked by Fuad Abiad.
You are?
Yeah, I don't even remember what it was about. I don't even remember.
He probably fucking blocked the wrong person, or who knows?
I don't know. He probably blocked me for a reason, but
yeah,
I was probably fucking with him on something.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, if you're someone who's just getting in the gym, it's like easier said than done. Like you need to just go. That's the reality of it. It's like, or comment and ask like questions, but like, you can think about it, you can think about it, you can think about it, and nothing's going to happen by thinking about it. But thoughts do become things, So like my thought at first, like when I was seeing these fitness posts, were like, oh, I'll never look like that. And it evolved into, all right, let me do 20 push-ups. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just something that grows over time. It's just a refinement process. And then pre-workout came along, and I was able to like get into it and start doing it. I mean, there's so much like with diet and like supplements and nutrition online. Just ignore that shit and just get in the gym.
Yeah.
Eat. I mean, we're talking about how like I mean, my first like understanding of dieting was eating chicken pot pies, and then I learned how to cook ground beef, and then I learned how to like one thing I will say about relationships, every relationship I've ever been in, I got taught how to cook something.
That's cool.
Yeah, I got like I didn't know how to cook chicken breast, and then I dated this chick, and like she knew how to cook chicken breast, and then I was eating chicken breast, and then she's like, you can get ground turkey too. I'm like, I didn't fucking know about this.
Yeah.
And then now I have like 3 proteins, and then like the other chick I dated, like she used a slow cooker, like the crock pot.
Oh yeah.
And like that was a game changer, bro. Like now I think people are catching on that you can do that. Like people, like I see Big Paul using the fucking slow cooker. It's so easy. I use the air fryer.
Dump everything in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you use your do you have an air fryer?
Yeah, I've never used it though. My girlfriend uses it.
How do you cook your chicken?
I just cook mine in the oven.
Just in the oven? You just throw breast in there?
Yeah. like a
Mhm.
nonstick spray on the pan and just load it up and put it in the oven.
Okay, and another one, another topic that because we talk about meal prep a little bit. We kind of we hit on that with like I mean with some of like the fats and like the dieting and stuff like that. Okay, but my meal prep essentials are the air fryer. It's so chicken's so easy in the air fryer. I have like another like 5 or 6 ounces left in there that I'm gonna eat after this. My slow cooker, microwave, of course. What else do I use? Oh, rice cooker. You have a rice cooker?
Now I do instant rice.
What do you mean?
I've got like the boxed rice.
Oh, you boil it in the bag?
Yeah, let me see. How do I flip this thing around? I just bought a piece here. Like the box?
Do you just microwave that?
Yeah, you just add
Oh,
water.
and
I
you
should
throw the
probably
mic.
get a rice cooker, but it's super
But
easy.
is that what you've always done?
Yeah, I've never actually had a rice cooker.
Damn, dude. There's a lot of people that don't actually cook rice. The thing is, bro, like I'll cook rice and then like I'm not at the point where I'm like running through my rice just yet, like crazy. You know what's nice? Like, which is also not nice, but like when you're a girl, like also eats like bodybuilding food, like she'll cook the chicken or like she'll cook rice, but she's also eating like a third
Yeah,
of it, or probably a third because
yeah.
you're eating more than her usually, but she'll cook it, hopefully, hopefully like she don't expect you to just cook all the food. It's got to be a team effort. Or like grocery shopping. Honestly, that's one of my favorite things to do. Is go to the grocery store. Where do you go shopping at, bro?
Winn-Dixie in Florida.
Is that where you're at? You go to Winn
Yeah,
Dixie?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's just cheaper. I mean, I
good
actually kind of
quality
like some of
chicken.
the. Yeah, like I get ground chicken, and the
Th-
Winn-Dixie ground chicken is like
Is it
so much
breast?
better. Yeah, it's 99
Uh-huh.
one.
Okay,
Um,
good.
like it's better than the Publix ground chicken. It's better than like the Sprouts ground chicken.
Do you
I don't
do
know what
any
it is.
beef at all? Any like
I
96.4?
haven't lately. I was doing like one beef meal a day for a while, but I've just
Mm-hmm.
kind of gotten away from it. I'd
Yeah.
actually like to put it back in.
Do you ever do ground turkey breast like 99? You'll do
Yeah,
that
that's
too.
what I just put in the oven here.
What do they charge you for a pound of ground chicken breast?
6.99.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, and they have
For a
deals like
pound?
a lot of times, like buy one get one free.
Yeah, if they've got that, I would definitely stock up on that, dude. I go to Publix for my chicken. I kind of wanted to like talk about like what grocery store you go to because I used to go to Walmart for my chicken.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean their chicken's not bad, but the thing is, bro, like it's like okay, 12, 10, $14, 4 or 5 pounds of chicken. But then like you cut it open and it's like you got to cut off all this fucking fat that like, you
Yeah,
know, I don't know how much you clean up the chicken breast, like,
as much
or
as I can.
yeah, I mean, I do too. Like, I don't know anybody who's just like leaving that shit on or just throwing it in a pan.
It's like
Like,
huge hunks. Like I mean, like the
yeah,
size of your finger.
yeah. If you're not like taking good care of your meal prep and you're like cooking your food as shitty as possible and you're not putting any effort into it, like, what do you expect your results to be? Like, your food should taste good. Like, like because you're gonna be eating it every fucking day, and it's like, well, how am I supposed to eat chicken twice a day? Like, I can't eat the same food every day. Like, how do you not eat the same food every day?
Yeah,
Like, how do you figure out new food to eat every single day? Like, okay, you do because you only eat once or twice a day. But like when you're eating 5, 6 times a day, you need things to be just very fucking simple and just straightforward, you know. But the reality is also you're eating the same foods every single day. So make it taste as good as possible. Put some effort in the meal prep. Um, but so yeah, I'll shop at Publix now for the chicken. I spend more. It's like $20 a pack of 4 or 5 pounds, but I'm not cutting off nearly as much of that shit.
yeah,
So they actually do a good job. So I feel like I'm getting my money's actually more worth.
yeah.
Um, do you ever go to Walmart at all for
Not
anything?
for a few years. I used to do all my shopping. Like there's a one of the WalMarts that's just like a grocery store, like right near me.
Neighborhood? Yeah, like a
Yeah,
neighborhood Walmart. Yeah.
but I stopped going there. I really don't know why. And trying to think why I stopped going there. But yeah, I haven't been there in a few years. I just started going to like I was going to Publix for a while, and then I just went to a Winn Dixie just happenstance once, and I was like, oh, like they're kind of cheaper, and I really like this ground chicken, so I just kind of kept going there.
Do you buy like the G Hughes sauces or any seasonings or
Yeah,
any like
yeah.
particular ones you like?
I like
Just like
my favorite is the Polynesian.
you like that one.
Yeah, but no place around me carries it anymore. I have to buy it
You
on
gotta go to
Amazon.
Walmart. Yeah, like I'll tell you what, Walmart, they don't slack when it comes to those sauces. They
Really?
keep like every single one of them in stock, and like, yeah, you'll be able to find those there. You ever try those Kinder seasonings?
No,
They're good, dude.
I've seen
Yeah,
them though.
some of them have salt. Like some seasonings, I like to I like to use Dash. Do you use Dash like Mrs.
Yeah.
Dash? I mean, the reason why I'll use a lot of Mrs. Dash seasonings because you can load it up and like not like you can oversalt food, not
Hmm.
because oh well I'm gonna hold water from salt. Like it doesn't fucking really matter. Like go get strong as fuck. If you're not doing a show, have as much salt in your diet as possible. But like I don't want to oversalt my food and then it tastes super salty and then not
Yeah.
want to eat it, you know? So like I go with the not, I don't cook my food with salt, but when it's time to eat the meal, that's when I add the salt. That's a meal
Same.
prep
Yeah, I cook
hack.
mine without.
Yeah. I mean, and then like um so I'll get that from Walmart if I need to. I had someone pick me up like these like Sam's Club. Have you ever had like a Sam's Club or Costco membership?
Uh, Costco for a little while, and I still have some Costco gift cards. Um,
Yeah.
but I was
Can you
looking
get
to
in the
maybe
store?
my girlfriend wants to join either Sam's or Costco.
Hmm. I think it's good for like certain things like paper towels and all that. I don't know if I'd be buying my chicken there.
Yeah,
I'd have to go investigate, you know. Um
yeah. When we used to be a member with my ex, I used to buy like egg whites there because they were like
oh
super
yeah.
cheap.
Yeah. If you can get
Um,
cheap egg whites, yeah.
trying to think what else. Like eggs were super cheap,
Hmm.
and then like bulk stuff like oatmeal. I could get like 2 huge containers of oatmeal real cheap, stuff like that. But yeah, I never really bought chicken or fish or anything there.
Yeah.
It was
Do
always
you
like dry goods
do you
or
feel
eggs
like
and egg whites.
any foods like if you eat it too much fuck your stomach up? Like not necessarily fats, but like eggs or egg whites
Yeah,
or like chicken or
I would probably say if I have multiple meals of egg whites,
yeah.
or even if I have to do like multiple protein shakes, like I could get
Hmm.
away with maybe one protein shake a day if I have to. But if I have to do like 2 shakes for whatever reason, it'll fuck my stomach up. I would say egg whites and even like good quality, high quality protein powder would probably multiple meals would
Yeah.
fuck up my stomach.
I like whey isolate, but I also like understand what like Justin says about like the whey proteins like digesting super fast. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if you really want that, you know?
yeah,
Makes like the steak analogy of like you eat a piece of steak, you throw it up, 6 hours later. Like, when did I eat
yeah.
steak? Like, like, because amino acids need time to form and build. And I don't
Which
think
is
a protein
crazy
shake
because
is the
like
worst
years
thing.
ago, we were always told like, oh,
Gotta
digest
have a
super
quick
quick.
shake.
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing is, I can't do like casein protein. Like if I have way too much of that, like I'm backed up for like that's gonna last in my stomach 3-4 hours. I want something that's like 2 hours the max.
The best protein I've used, and I keep a tub of it. It's from Redcon, the MRE Light.
I have that stuff. Yeah.
It's like salmon, beef, pea
Yeah.
protein. It's like a bunch of different like non
Hmm.
milk based, and that really digests well for me. If I have to do like one shake a day
I'd
with
be
that,
fine with that. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm. That or whey isolate. But I've been staying away from shakes. Like I don't really do them too much, just because I'd rather eat the meal. But like
the,
if you're someone who needs to get in protein, have a protein shake. I would stick to a whey isolate or the MRE light or something like
the only
that.
time I really use it, I'll do like overnight oats sometimes, and
Hmm.
just put the protein powder in the oats. But
Yeah.
I usually don't just do like a regular like drink the shake type thing.
Hmm. I mean, there's a lot of things you could also make with like protein, like different recipes and stuff. I got this like Ninja ice cream maker, bro. It's
Oh yeah.
sick. Yeah, it's really sweet. Like you can take protein powder and like you could use like almond milk or you could use like the Fairlife milk, which can you drink milk?
Yeah. I'm kind of
You don't have
I
lactose issues?
I do, but like to a certain point, I'm okay.
Yeah, so this has like they have lactase in it, so it's like an enzyme that breaks down lactose, and they also like filter it to where they remove the lactose enzyme.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I don't have any issues with it. But you can get the low fat one, which the low fat's like zero fat, like six carbs, six protein, and then you can make ice cream with it. You throw your protein powder in it, or you throw like these like sugar free Jello brand pudding packets in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude, it comes out like buying ice cream from, like, McDonald's or, like, a Wendy's Frosty.
I was
It's
making
good.
like cottage cheese ice cream for a while,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I
Uh,
mean, if you're dieting, it tastes really good. But
I used to eat cottage cheese, like, as one of my last meals of the day because 'cause I'm like,
I
"Oh,
love
Casey,
cottage cheese, like just
you
taste
gotta."
wise,
Yeah, some people like it. Some
amazing.
people put it in their eggs and stuff.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, I've heard that. I've never made
Okay.
ice cream with it. I don't know. I think you could do a lot of things with it. I think you could make pancakes with it or some shit if you wanted
Yeah.
to. Yeah. Um Yeah, man, I don't know. If anybody has like a really good like recipe or food thing that they like make or concoction that they make that they think is like the shit or super easy to eat, share the information below. And like when I like watch YouTube videos, guys, I dig through the comment section just to see like what like if I don't find the answer in the video, I'm gonna go to the comment section because maybe the person who put out the YouTube video answers a question more thoroughly in the comment section.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of like little nuggets in this episode of like little tips and tricks for meal prep, um, relationships, injuries. Talked about trend, um, hobbies. It's hard to
None.
have
Yeah.
them. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm not like out here trying to make my own hobbies. I'm just this is if anything, this is probably my hobby or like that thing I would dedicate like more time to in the week.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend like an hour or two doing this and another hobby. But yeah, if anybody has any comments on anything relationship wise, meal prep, any hobbies that they're into, any TV shows that they think everybody needs to see, ways that they've worked out around injuries, meal prep tips, concoctions, comment below, share the information, just spread the good stuff, man, because that's what we're ultimately here to do at the end of the day. Try to keep growing and keep just refining, um, not just the podcast, but everything week to week. So no bad days at the end of the day, man. Comment
Absolutely.
what you have below. None of this medical advice. Take, what you want, leave whatever you don't. And yeah, man, that'll do it.
Thank you guys. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, definitely. And then yeah, we're here on Sunday today, but we'll probably be back Friday next week. Or, if we ever need to move it around, we'll let you guys know. So appreciate all the support. Catch you guys next time.
Thank you guys.
Peace.